There we go. Hello and welcome to Flory Models. Here we are live at 7:30 across the airwaves, as always, with the entire team. We've got a small technical hitch. I can't get into live chat. It's amazing to have been in it all afternoon. But yes, we are somewhat getting there. But anyway, as always, we are joined by the team. So we have Steve. Good evening. We'll talk about his medical issues in a moment. Ron.
Hello.
Which is amazing now your internet's working. Look at that. Glorious. Award-winning stand host.
Technicolor.
Person, Nathan.
Hello.
Congratulations on the Luftwaffe SIG. Very nice. 8-bit Matt, who's not 8-bit anymore. He's more like 480. Actually, no, it's not too bad tonight. Actually, it's looking good. It's just your lip sync's out still. Which it's like a satellite delay, but it's fine. It's a long way. It's got to go round here.
It is. Long cable.
Long cable. This is what we need. John.
Hello.
Who's there as well. So yes, no, if anyone would like to buy a house, John's house is now on the market. Full details are on request. If you'd like to buy that, it's just been freshly decorated. It's absolutely fantastic there. And always our very own Andy. Mr. Dependable. I could depend on his internet connection being fine. And any technical issues, he's good on the fly. He can sort them out in place. So yeah, so we are here until 10 o'clock. Usual thing, guys. If you've got any questions, please feel free to post them up either in the live chat, although I can't see that, but the rest of the gang can. We do have the super chat open on the actual. There you go. People are saying hello already, which is weird. But we do have the super chat open as well in YouTube land. We can't answer every question on there, clearly, because obviously the members get priority as always. Members, if you want to post anything up in Ask the Team area or in Ask Phil area as well. So if you've got any photos you want to add to it, things like that, you can post them in there, which is really good because I can see myself, and that's a little weird. See myself on the screen at the same time. So there you go. Hello from Portugal. Hello, evening, everybody. So yes, lots of people in the YouTube chat as well. So yes, we're all going very, very well. Quick update to how things are going. I've almost moved all the videos now over onto the new site, which is good because obviously I've been working literally night and day to do that. I've got around about 5 to do. That is it. You guys have been watching would have noticed the last ones which have gone up. I put up the Iwo Jima has just gone up. The Space Shuttle has just gone up. And then obviously the Y-Wing just went up. I'm just going through. I can go through the list here. The Bradley's just gone up. The Sherman and all the others. Merkava. The armor set is going up as we speak. There is a few more to go up. As I said before, we're going to keep the new site with the new builds. The old ones are going to get archived. They are still going to be available, but because they're in tiny old screen, because they're anything from 2000 really up until 2000 and I think it was around about 2011. They're in the old format, so it's not even HD. Sorry. So from that point of view, that is on. But I'm happy to report that the forum is now fully operational and working, apart from for me. But yes, all the issues that we had earlier have been fixed, and there's just literally a handful of little tiny bugs and fixes still need to be taken care of. But the devs are working on those at the moment, but they're not exactly priority ones. So we are all good and working. And that's it. So that's it. So now you know what to do. Post up and go in there. As always, it's pretty much informal tonight. The guys are just going to be building. Some of us are building the Hunters. We'll be starting on those this week. And then obviously some of the other guys will be doing other things. But the plan is we're all going to have a giggle with this one and complain about it roughly as we make our way through as always. So yes, but apart from that, we'll have a quick run through of the week and how it has been for everybody. So Steve, I know I only saw you 3 days ago, but how's it been going?
Yeah, not too bad. Making progress on the B2 rocket launcher trailer cum launch rack stand thing.
Very good.
Looks like you could launch SAM 5 off it.
It is, yeah, definitely.
So it's going together really well. I haven't kind of tested it all together, but something like that. So it's quite big.
Ooh, I'm just being good so far because it's before the watershed. But yeah, those comments will probably come out later.
I should have some pick on it this week.
Have you got any lube? So yes, no, very good.
That bloody thing.
Make the eyes water. Ron, what have you been up to?
I haven't done much modelling in the last couple of weeks for various reasons. But I did get back into the cave beginning of this week. So got the links
coming together.
Base color on.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just started doing things like the rotors and undercarriage and wheels.
Yeah.
And that's where I am with that one.
Very nice.
And I've made a start on my MiG, but haven't done much.
Right. Cool. Very, very good. Okay, Nathan.
So I've not since Bolton. I've not touched anything. So I finished the A400, and obviously we went to the Bolton show. So that's all packed away again, ready for the next show, which I can't remember what it is yet. But I'm just ready to start on this thing.
Indeed. Crack him. Matt, how's things going in PM land?
Very well at last. We have had a man in to do some more work in the shop, so it's coming on brilliantly at the minute. To be honest, really pushed on yesterday. I was here yesterday. I think he's back tomorrow to finish off, which means then we can really get prepped for opening at last.
At last. Just to bring recap, because obviously we've got a lot of new viewers tonight who haven't seen us before. Where Matt is in the PM store, we've actually got a light industrial unit. Yeah, thank you, Ron.
Sorry, I'm going to duck out for a minute.
All right, that's fine. What you can see through the little window there is our retail store, which will be opening in a few weeks in Doncaster. So if you're in that part of the world, obviously we'll be open to the general public. Members and everything we're going to be having in a few weeks' time. We just need to finalise a few things, a grand opening and various things like that. But it is, for once, coming together.
It is. After a lot of false starts, we're actually on the home stretch for opening at long last. So
yes.
It's a relief, to be honest.
It is a bit of a relief, definitely. But yes, so from that point of view, if you are in the Doncaster area, obviously you can order online, you can pick up the kits direct from there, or if you can pop round, you can have a peruse of the store. Usual thing, we've got pretty much all the major kit manufacturers in there. Hataka paint range is now active. And plus the fact all the other ranges. So anything, if you want to have a look online, just have a look on the PM modelsuk.com. That's the one, in it? I don't remember.
Yeah.
You can see about that one down in there. So that's all pretty good. So yes, very exciting times at last. And I must admit, your walls filling up backwards in the background.
Yes.
Artwork up on the wall.
Yeah.
We do it.
More, to be honest. When I go and get them cabinets, I'm going to have a good hunt round for things.
Yes.
And I've actually, do you know what I need? Because I was talking to the Obico rep today, and obviously he used to own a shop.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in need of some peg boards.
Right. What, for hanging things on?
Yes,
I know what you
like
mean.
tapes and, sundries, tools and all that lot. So I've had a look around, and actually IKEA do them.
Oh, right. Okay, fair enough.
I reckon the wall next door, which obviously you can't see, which is a storage room, I'm just going to fill that with these pegboards, you see, so because you can just literally make a wall out of them, really.
Yep.
And then have off the stuff on there. So
very good. Or failing that, it's going to be a bag full of 6-inch nails and hammer.
And a big hammer. Yeah. really professional. Really good.
Health and safety.
Exactly.
It'll be fine. Very good. Anyway, we'll talk about that a little bit later. So then, John, apart from selling your house, how's it been going?
Fine. First time on the bench for many, many weeks, actually. So, yeah, dying to get on with the Hunter.
Very nice. Very, very
Good
good.
weekend up at Bolton.
At least somebody is.
Definitely. Right. Okay. Good one. John. Sorry, Andy.
Yeah, fine, thanks. I've been working on my IBG truck thing. It's all in bits for the moment.
Very nice indeed.
So, yeah, it's coming on quite well, actually. Really enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's about it, really. Just quickly, in chat, Brett says, Uncle Phil, tell us stories about Bolton.
Oh,
So can I just put my feet up and get my coffee and have a...
yeah, I would.
I am.
Yeah. So,
I've got my Baileys ready.
Baileys. So anyway, as you know, we do quite a few shows throughout the year. We usually do sort of one a month, and we get around. And there's quite a lot of travelling involved in hotels and obviously booking of vans, and moving of the stock for the shows and everything else like that. And normally it runs pretty much seamlessly. And usually
It runs seamlessly if you do it.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. This runs seamlessly because I'm normally the one who takes care of all these things. Very own. I don't know why the camera's on me. I'm going to put it on the culprit. So anyway, bearing in mind we had to travel from as far afield as Cornwall to get up to Bolton. We picked up John on the way. We all made our way there. The entire team. We all met in the pub at around about. I got there. Was it just after 5?
Yeah.
On Saturday. So we all sat down for a lovely meal, and then halfway through the meal, this certain person in front of us now, we might have a problem.
You missed the bit out where Matt was saying that he deserves Employee of the Month.
Yeah.
Matt's been getting on so well with the PM store and everything. He was like the Employee of the Month and everything, and now he deserves to have a star on his badge sheet and all the rest of it. And then he whispers in my ear, "I think we've got a problem." So it's like, "Oh yeah, what's that?" And he goes, "I don't think we're booked in for the show." Because we've just had an email saying that we didn't have a place at the actual show and we hadn't paid to go or anything else like that. So Matt had one job, his first ever attempt at booking a show, and actually didn't book us in. So for the next sort of 4 hours, it was a bit of a panic about, are we actually booked in? Have we all travelled from halfway across the planet to get here and to be selling out of the car park? So then we were coming up with plans A, B, and C to what to do if we can't get in. But luckily, it did turn out well when at about 10:30, 11 o'clock, got a phone call that said, "Actually, no, you're okay. We have got a stand." So yes, but for a few hours, a few ribbings were
Not
had.
in a faux pas. I paid the deposit and didn't pay the balance, but you know, these things happen, don't they?
Of course they do. Anyway, make sure before we travel, we're all sorted and booked in.
Yeah.
So yes,
It was amazing. It was amazing how many different ways of disposing of body we came up with, wasn't it? Really?
well, yeah, it was, and how he was going to be publicly hanged, and how we were going to take care of it, and purely he was never going to live it down if we were to the point of actually having to sell kits from out the car park or something. Yes.
To be fair, the colour did fade out my face when I found out we had no wristbands.
Yes, that was the other thing as well. It's the point it came to. It was like, have we got our wristbands? How are we getting in? What time do we go in? Normally they send a pack to let us know. And it was like, well, actually, no, we haven't got a pack. So, yes. So needless to say, after it was like 275 miles for me up there, I think. To find out actually this might be a waste of time or a very nice meal. It'd be the most expensive Harpster meal I've ever had. So yes, but yeah. Anyway, it did all turn out well. Have to say, obviously, I put up the video on Monday with the photos from the show and everything else. It was a cracking show. We all enjoyed it, didn't we?
That's brilliant show. Really good.
Was any particular highlights? Anybody saw anything that took their eye?
Winning the Luftwaffe Sig. Luftwaffe Sig are winning the best stand of the show.
Yeah, but you're biased because Yorkie Camp was on it.
I had about 7 planes on it, but yeah.
Yeah, and I must admit, I had 2 on there.
You did, yeah. We all had something on, didn't we?
Yeah,
We all had something.
hard work, Nathan, bringing it all together, mate.
I tell you what, the one thing you win, and I didn't take note this time.
It did look really smart, really smart.
It did. It was a fantastic one, I must admit. Very good. Right, Andy, do you want to have a quick look through chat and see if there's anything interesting in there? I'm just going to check to see what's going on with the other guys, and a quick shout out to people in YouTube land. Now, bear with us. This is the first time we've ever done live stuff on YouTube, so I'm not even sure how it all works. Normally, we are hidden away on the dark web, so people can't see us. But you've got lots of people down in there. So anyway, we are just down in there. Some of you guys are pointing out. Everyone seems to be fine. Hello from Argentina, from Canada, from Toronto, Portugal. Loads of things. Look at that.
Wow.
Burma. Very good. Any good hobby shops in the area? That's the guys are talking in there. God, look, there's loads of people in there. This is my first live show from Flory Models. Cheers. No problem, William. And say if this goes well, we'll probably do this. Minus 11. Minus 11.
What's that? Nathan's garage.
And then somebody else has said it's 30 degrees where they are. See, look, depends where you are in the world. Fantastic. Alan Vex says, Phil, can you ask Steve if he's posted his decals?
Ron will be back soon.
Yeah, Steve, Alan Vex says, have you posted his decals?
Yeah, no.
So,
They're there. They've ready for me account. They're ready to go. So, if I put them in an envelope, I'll get either tomorrow or Friday. I'll get my mother to post them for me.
there we go. His mother will take care of it. You'd be fine.
I just keep getting a lot on. That's my excuse.
Very good. So there we go. That will all be sorted for you. But yes, lovely to see you all in YouTube land. Fantastic. I say if it works well for all of this, we'll keep doing it. But that is all looking very, very good. I'm just going to dive off and check in there. So anything, Andy?
Chris Robinson said he's managed to get his apron covered in resin already within an hour of delivery, sanding resin.
There you go. See, that's what it's for, though. Saved you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But anyway, shouldn't you be wearing one, showing them off?
Yeah, hold on. I'll put one on. Hold on.
Alan Vex says Matt is sending Matt missing sprue for his.
Brilliant. Good news, Alan.
It moved then.
I thought they would because their parts department is actually pretty good.
Whose is that?
Oh, talking of that, Andy, has your canopy turned up yet?
No.
Oh.
Which one?
What am I supposed to say?
How many you broke?
Oh, where's my phone?
No, not yet, mate. No.
No, all right.
Well, it wouldn't because actually it's still here.
Yeah. That's why I said which one. What the Phil said.
That is a really good point because you know what? To be honest, I haven't been in here to check. So
Do you know what, Andy? He's probably took it all the way up to Bolton and brought it all the way back again.
no, it is here. Sorry, Andy. Here is your replacement canopy because you broke yours.
Thank you very much.
Hold on, let me see if it's okay. Yes.
I know. Hey, Phil, I know what I meant to ask you. Did you cop any flack yesterday for saying the Bolton's in the Midlands?
Oh, is it not?
Oh, well.
Did you like that thing about pancakes I sent you?
Yeah. That's quite funny.
Anyway, Darren says, question for you: Wingnut Wings or HK for a 132nd Lancaster? I have to say, having fondled both, I have to say, hold out and wait for the Wingnut Wings one.
Wingnut Wings all day.
There's a really good man. It's going to be cheaper than the HK one anyway.
Cheaper, better.
If I would definitely hold out and go for the other one.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. So I'm just going to bring up Ask the Team. So yes.
Well, while you do that, Phil, just it were on local news yesterday. In fact, it were on national breakfast news that on February the 22nd in a place called Endcliffe Park near Sheffield, there's a war memorial to a downed bomber crew. And what happened? An 8-year-old kid saw an American plane crash during World War II, and since then he's looked after where it crashed, built a memorial to him, and he goes there every single day. And his wish has always been for there to be a fly past. And yesterday it was announced that the Air Force and the US Air Force on 22nd of February are doing a special fly past to commemorate what this guy's done all his life.
Oh, it's fantastic.
So if you're in that Sheffield, it could be well worth going to see that. I don't know any times yet, but obviously Duke Staff will probably take over F-15s and no doubt a few Typhoons or something. But I think it's really good that they've done it.
It is, yeah, it's fantastic. Sorry, I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Something's up my nose.
Just quickly, Neil's posted, question for the team. Are you pre-ordering the Airfix Hellcat? We're waiting to see what it's like.
Pre-order. Or when Matt gets them.
Yeah.
If Matt gets them, it's over to us and build it.
Yeah, it's fair. I mean, I definitely want one, but I think I'll wait to the. Normally with Airfix, the price comes out its full retail price, and then within a couple of months, it'll be down to like 70% of what the retail price is, won't it?
No, that'll be about a couple of years, I reckon. That's what happened with others.
You reckon?
Yeah, and depends the short field. And it's usually taken a couple of years before it really drops in price.
We live on YouTube, are we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mostly you're paying attention at the beginning.
Yeah. He says, also, will Steve ever finish the canoe at the back of his room?
Probably not.
We were talking to him. He's actually on about moving it from its location to give himself more room.
What, like the garden? Put it in the garden. For people, because obviously we've got a lot of viewers today who aren't you regulars. So that's the thing that's actually over Steve's right shoulder, left as you look at him.
Or he might have to find a new home.
We're going to launch it in Lady Bower Dam.
1/200th scale Missouri.
Yeah.
With about £1 million worth of motorway.
If you don't finish it, it lives down here in the shop.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know what, put it in the shop and get people to add a bit every time they come.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, that's actually not a bad idea. We'll put it in the store and then people can build on it at their leisure and we'll see what happens after a year. It'll be like a massive thing, like some, scratched kit.
No, if people just want to sit down and dedicate an hour to it, in fact, you could do it right. You pay £5 to charity for an hour's building on it. That'll provide you coffees, and then all money when it's finished goes to a charity.
Yeah.
We'll have a little charity box.
Rob, quick question.
Box.
Charity box. Rob, he's got a quick question for Peer Models. Can you get a Takalaka C322 anti-flash white?
Yes.
Have you got it?
I haven't got it, no, but I can get it when my said supplier actually gets their stocks in. Yes, I will get it in. I'm just waiting on, like I say, my said supplier to get their stocks in so I can have a restock.
Yeah.
So, but yes, I will be able to get that in and I will be stocking it because obviously we've started off with 150 of the most popular colours and then we're going to add to it and fill in the blanks as and when we put stock orders in. So there is going to be some on when I get my next stock order will be some more blanks filled in, but so keep an eye out on the site really.
Chris Robinson says, Andy M, how long do you leave your GX100 Super Clear 3 to dry before decaling?
10 minutes. 15 minutes.
It's fair. It dries really, really quick, but it's like anything. Touch feel to actually wanting to do anything with it is a bit different. I'd leave it 24 hours before I do anything on it. Really, I clear coated a F84 I'm doing at the moment, and then realised whilst I was talking to Matt on Skype that I hadn't painted the fin flash on it. So I painted the fin flash, unmasked it, and that was after probably a couple of hours. And I've got Tammy tape marks all over the tail. So
yeah, you've got to give it a little bit of time to actually cure rather than just flash off. So
then Darren said about Wing at Wings or HK for Lancaster. Darren Davis says, also, Andy, what ratio do you thin GX 100 Super Clear? Keeps popping her up on me. I thin the hell out of it. I normally do it about 70% thinner to 30% clear. I really do. So this is one that I normally keep a pot and I probably empty less than a third into it and then fill it up with set leveling thinner. Really do thin it a lot and put on light but wet coats. Let it dry, maybe put another one on like wet coat, and then it does really get a really nice shiny finish with it.
Look at this. Anyway, Philip, get on with your hunter. Sit there.
Well, I'm just doing the
Sit there
usual.
looking pretty.
I'm doing camera,
Get some work done.
camera angles tonight. I'm doing cameraman.
Brett says 265 watching, and you don't have to bribe anyone with prizes.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
What's that referring to there, Brett?
I wonder.
Oh. Oh, right. Okay.
All right, okay, let's not go down that route. For God's sake, we
No,
don't
no.
do that. We
Just,
don't-
I've just clicked on what he's on about then.
Thank you. Also, quick questions that are coming up in the live chat. I tell you what, I prefer the super chat on YouTube because it doesn't bounce. Because I know what, Andy's having the trouble I normally have where you're trying to keep up with scrolling. You can just lock it. It doesn't move. It's brilliant. I do like it. I'm sold.
Oh, the super chat. I'm thinking of is the super chat the not one where people can pay £10 and get their?
Yeah, it is, but you don't have to. I've set it so nobody has to pay. A bit like that. But that way, it works just the same. Everything on super chat. Who's
What's that
compressor?
rumbling?
That's my compressor.
Oh yeah. Do you sit on it?
Guys, have any of you tried fitting C54, the control column yet?
Not yet, no.
Just check the size of the located hole compared to
Ron, we've really missed you. I've got to say.
Yeah.
It's not the same we've got you on a Wednesday.
What type of compressor have you got, Ron?
Sounds like a generator.
Has it got a giant flywheel?
Just so everyone knows which one not to buy.
It's a 500 litre.
I'll tell you what it is. It's sat on the desk that's the camera and the computer sat on.
Oh, that'll be it.
Only vibrating through.
where do you get it? Boeing? Do they use it on real aircraft?
Got a
there?
kickstart.
Look, Gary says it's absolutely freezing in Telford. It's sub-zero there at the moment.
Hey.
Greg says he's halfway through the Hunter build as we speak. And they've included the Arsene for the Mark 9. I did notice that when I did the review of it. You got both types. I assume that they're going to do this to death over a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Talking about the chat area, really enjoying the reviews. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Has anyone ever built the Great Wall Hobbies F15i RAM? I'm getting to the end of the month and was wondering if there's any issues I should look out for. I must admit, I've done the review of it, but I haven't built one. Not sure. I know loads of members have though. We've got quite a few of those in the forum, I think. Hi guys, what do you think about too many rivets on a model? Is this really important? We actually had a very good discussion about this, and I have something that had no rivets and now has got about 8 million. So I've re-riveted this little monster, is what I'm working on at the moment, and it's just about to go into paint. Now I've got some for this particular lump, but this is the Trumpeter's. Actually, not a bad, I have to say. I know everyone was like, yeah, it's old school, but it is obviously their 72nd bear. But the great thing is, it's got all the panel lines are fine, but there's no riveting detail on it at all. But I was thinking, because of its scale and the size of this thing, it needed a little bit more. So what I've done is actually completely re-rivet the entire thing. So as you say, the video build for this one is ongoing at the moment, and it's going to be a nice wall decoration at the PM storage. I think it's not a tail sitter. I think we're okay with the weight. He says, "Tell you what, close. Look, it balances. I have to have some leaded props, I reckon, at the front just to hold it in. But it's going to hang on a wall anyway. But I have to say, talking of riveting, it's one of those things. I think rivets are an enhancement into your model, shall we say? So that's why I've ended up re-riveting this, even though technically you're probably not going to see them, if we're honest. But from my point of view, I think it just adds to it. And I've done it to a lot of Airfix kits in the past. And it's funny because I've been moving all the old video builds over to the new site over the last couple of days. One of them that I forgot I'd even done was the Airfix Gloucester Meteor. And I re-riveted the entire that as well. And I think it enhances it. It gives it a really much more a better scale look because it draws your eye all over the model instead of just looking at panel lines and stuff like that.
What do you think about the Hunter then?
Again, that's going to be the thing, isn't it? It could do with a few because it hasn't got any. So I will end up re-riveting it. I know I will. luckily, it
Yeah,
hasn't got
the thing is, though, if you look at pictures of Hunters, it's a very clean aircraft. You don't see.
Did they have them?
Yeah, but that's the same. We had this conversation exactly when we were talking about the Meteor, wasn't it? Because the Meteor, you don't see them on that either. But I think from a model point of view, it just gives it a little bit more, stops it looking a bit die-casty, you know? So, yeah, I know. It's, yeah.
Is that a word? Die-casty.
Yeah, I just made it.
Is now.
It is now. It's now going to be in the, what's the other dictionary? The Urban Dictionary.
Yeah, but it's one of those things, isn't it? If an aircraft in real life is covered in rivets, you need to have them on your model. I think, you know, just it does liven it up a bit.
Yeah, again, it's one of those things. I do like to re-rivet. I must admit, I do. As stupid as it sounds, I hated re-riveting for absolutely years, and I used to avoid it like the plague. But now I quite enjoy it, so I tend to rivet everything, even if it's probably you're not going to see it in real life. The thing is, I always say though, the thing is with riveting, even if you don't see riveting on the real aircraft, you'll see the stain and the dirt and grime normally it accumulates around riveting. So sometimes, like on here, even if you look at the box art, you can see they put weathering in bands where the riveting is, even though it's not on the plastic. So the rivets aren't there, but they've even done the weathering on this little light weathering job. They've put them in.
Artistic license.
It is, and that is it. And don't forget, you know what I always say, it's up to you and it's your model, build it how you like.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, you know, don't care what anyone else says, as long as if you think it wants rivets and you like that weathering and that dirtiness and stuff like that, then up to you, knock yourself out and go for it.
The one looking at it for its lifetime.
Absolutely. Right. Okay. Other things the guy's talking about in there is the shall not grow old. That was spoken about actually on the chat last week as well, weren't we? We were talking about that.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic program.
Yep.
Very, very moving. It's always a bit weird when they put the sound into it as well. They dubbed it again, and it was like a bit spooky.
In fact, I watched Antiques Roadshow. This is, you know, them photo albums you were given, Phil.
Yeah.
They were somebody brought along, and one of their relatives was the professional photographer at Sopwith just after World War One, and he caught loads of amazing images of them testing aircraft, the factory, and they said that the albums would be probably worth upwards of £3,000 to £5,000.
Really?
So them ones that you've got are probably worth several £100.
Right. Okay. I'm off to the pub.
So don't get rid of them. I don't know what made me think.
I know they are literally. They haven't moved.
Yeah.
I keep
I
them here.
the original, and because of the
Where are
such
they from?
images.
I was donated them by a member,
All right. Okay.
and these are absolutely beautifully done. I'm such a nerd because when I get people over, I show them it. I make them sit down. I'm one of these people. You don't come around here without getting out without seeing these.
So what's it actually off? Because you.
This is all from
Put the
Farnborough.
overhead on. Put the overhead cam on.
I can't. I haven't got it switched on today.
No.
Sorry. But anyway, they've all been beautiful. I don't know if you can see it, but they've all got notes been written onto here as well with full details of what it is. So this one's saying Fairy Gannet, 3-seat anti-submarine carrier-borne aircraft powered by the Armstrong Siddeley double Mamba turboprop engine. Contra propellers, demonstrates its wing fold capabilities. But it's just the wording as well been written. Do you know what? I can't remember who sent me this either now. It was a while ago, but it's got like the Blackburn Universal Transport. Look at that.
That's one for Mac 2, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? So anyway, but it is beautiful. I'll tell you what I would do, because I would love people to see this, is once we're open up in the store, I'll take it up there and then we can have it on display.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Just remember, it could be worth a heck of a lot of money, so you want to be careful with it.
Go behind a glass cabinet.
Yeah,
Then
you have to wear special gloves.
White cotton gloves to look at it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
Yeah, well, because, you know, collectors of that aviation photography pay money for it, 'cause it's all original images and really rare planes. Like I say,
Oh, I'll tell you what, where I can beat this one, the Flying Wing, the Armstrong Whitworth AW52. Look at that.
Wow.
That's how good this thing is.
Farnborough somewhere.
It is. This is Farnborough. Which one was this? Hold on.
Farnborough, 1950.
Farnborough, 1949.
49. Oh, wow.
Right.
Brilliant. I like the writing as well. That's
So do I. I absolutely love this thing. I've gone through it about 100 times. But I do. Absolutely, it's fantastic. But I can't remember who sent to me. So if you were that person, but these are the photographs from 1949 and 1950. And he's got a little crib sheet of all the aircraft that were there as well, which are all the photos for these albums.
Tell you, it's going to be shop come museum, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
It is at this rate, yeah.
You never want to get rid of, is it? You know, if you look at it, be given something like that, you.
Nathan will be donating his tornado parts and
Yeah, we'll have lots of tornado everywhere.
hanging things off the walls. Hey, that's not a bad idea, that, Phil.
I think so. Yeah, we could do that.
Do we know anybody in plane salvage, aircraft salvage?
I do.
Do you really?
I do actually. I know a couple of guys who.
Yeah.
Just go to MOD sales and buy yourself a shell of a plane and.
Mate, if I had my thing, I'd have a carcass of an helicopter out front.
I'll tell you, Lynxes are going to be cheap soon. They'll all be up for sale.
Oh, they're not too big either. Well,
Well,
done.
get a Lynx folded up. Be all right. What about all those Hawks I've got piled at Shrewsbury?
Yeah.
Got loads of T1s there, haven't they? They're all obsolete now.
Phil,
Yes,
Patrick says Phil still has the tags on his apron. When the show is done, he'll stuff it in.
I will. That's
Pallet.
the whole point.
Ron,
And-
cheeky so-and-so.
Yeah.
Don't ever say that to us again.
He's chatting privately, is he?
Yes.
It's just
Something
Steve,
not for broadcast.
do your man.
Trolling us, I'll tell you, he's trolling us. I'll be muting him in a minute.
Yeah, I can do that. I just read it.
Don't get cocky because you've got good internet, Ron.
Yeah. So it's a webcam for Christmas and look at him.
Steve,
Right, sorry, go on, Andy.
Steve, Andrew Oxford said, "Do you think it's time do you think your man cave needs a little tidy?"
Or a
Well, there's
fire.
never really an answer to that because he's getting banned for that.
I think it's a good fire.
No, it's you know, genius at work, isn't it? You look at all these great.
He's like a mad scientist.
Mad professor. Right, I'm going to do some modelling.
It says, "While my lack of knowledge in computers made getting onto chat an adventure." Rick
Yeah.
says, "Still plan on with the building the wingstop with Camel."
Yeah.
Sorry.
To be honest, I've already started it. It's in bits, but it's under stuff in front of me. So yes,
Is it nice?
it is. Typical wingnut wings, isn't it?
Yeah, and you've got a wood grain template.
I have got a wood grade template. Nice to see you were watching clearly on Monday then, Steve. Because I even showed it.
Yeah, I was just saying you've got one.
And then it says, "I've got mine ready to go when Phil starts his."
Yeah, well, I'm going to get slightly ahead like I normally do, and then we'll go for it. So don't panic. And to be honest, you know, everything's gone out the window this week with the movement of the site. It's one of those things, but touch wood, I think we're all agreed it's working now, at least. Everything seems to be fine. I finished doing the transfer work over. To be honest, I have got to catch up with a few orders to get out, and then we'll be back on. Hopefully by Monday, I'm going to be just modelling, which will be great. Back to it.
Alan says, "Phil, any more cheek from Matt, and we'll get Prince Philip to drive him home."
Did you see that one on Facebook where somebody's it's got a Range Rover's gone into a house and it says Prince Philip pops round to apologise for woman to the woman.
Oh, that woman who's with the passenger and's bloody
Yeah.
much money she can make there.
So he's driven
Chris said, and that means no seatbelts, Alan.
God, she thinks.
One from here, and it says, Phil, hold on, change cameras. It says, Phil, I wish you would allow comments on your post. I've often had questions I'd like to ask you. That's from Vince. I'll be honest with you, Vince, I get trolled so much on YouTube. That's why I don't do it anymore. we're doing this one as a little bit of a testy thing, but there's so many idiots on YouTube and they waste my time so much that I just can't be doing with it. So that's why I don't have any comments on anything on YouTube normally. And as I said, if you want to get hold of me, I'm always open to answer questions to members and non-members. Just hit us up via the website. And if you go to the flooringmodels.org site these days, you'll notice it's totally different to the flooringmodels.co.uk one. It's had a bit of upgrade and a massive thing. So if you go to flooringmodels.org, you'll get to our new site, which is all singing, all dancing. But yeah, it's had a very large upgrade, shall we say. We've had a massive upgrade this last week. And I'll give you a show round it later.
Someone called Bryn Robinson, I got a clue who he is. Says, question Ori rivets, do you follow actual plans or is it more artistic license? Most plans I see don't tend to have show-off rivet lines.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I do. I do try and get any references I can, but what I'll usually do is go run off photos or artwork. So that's where your artistic license comes in, because like there's a good example here. You can see where they put the rivet lines all on here. And the Hunter you can get references of anyway, but you can see where they've done it, and I'll usually copy what I think is a really nice picture. Hopefully the artist has got it right, shall we say? But it looks good enough for me, so that's what I do. The bear, for instance, I've got fantastic references for the underside of the wings and the sides of it. Tops of the wings, not so, because nobody's got photos of the top side of this thing unless it's air-to-air. So it's a little bit difficult trying to get positive references for it. But a lot of it, I will use artistic license. But usually you can work out, you see where a panel is, you know where the formers are, you can run, obviously, major rivets off of that. It's normally just the skin ones with the thinner formers and things like that in there. That might be a little bit difficult to get in. All right, who's that?
Not me.
Sorry, it's my compressor.
So I'll mute him.
I'm on industrial compressor.
That's a point. I forgot to bring it up again. There you go. I've muted him. He's good now.
Yeah, man. Power surge then in.
Patrick says, I wonder how many rivets the new Shackleton 3 is going to have.
Not as many as the Bear. I tell you, I think the Bear actually beats. Everyone takes the mick out of the Shackleton being like, was it 1 million rivets in close formation? Well, you think the size of the Bear, and that's got more. So I think the Bear would hold the riveting world record, because that thing is immense.
Lynn says, I really want to get the Airfix Hunter. I'm a big fan of that aircraft.
It's available on the PM store.
We certainly are. Something tells me Phil isn't going to get a lot of building done.
No, he never does all these things. That's why he does videos on it. I'll play catch up. I might do it as a video build, and that way I'll show it every day.
Yeah. So what scheme are you doing then, guys? Checked out what you're all doing.
Neil says, I thought they were building the Hunter. Not much building so far. Is it that much of a? Is it that such a bad kit?
No, it's good. It's going all right so far.
They've already finished. You've missed it.
Usual crap plastic, but they look at it. So what scheme are you doing, Andy? On yours?
I'm going to do the yellow tail one out of the box.
Out of the box. So
The one in the box art.
the people at home don't know that. Our viewers, Andy.
I've forgotten the squadron number I'm doing, but it's the East India Squadron, which I think might be 92-ish, 95, something like that.
A picture of the day calls, Nathan.
No. I'll download it off the Hannon's website when it's the time to do it.
I can send you a photograph.
Right,
So
well,
you're doing East India.
yeah, East India Squadron.
Oh, you're doing number 92 Squadron.
Not a bad guess then. Yeah.
So I think John's doing the top one, the yellow.
Hold on.
You see that? Nathan's doing the camouflage with the red and yellow checkerboard. down there, and I'm doing the camouflage with the red tail and fuel tank. So yeah, not bad.
Not actually that many parts, are there?
No, it's not a lot to it, is it? Oh no! All my gears over there. Oh, look.
I'm doing that version.
Hold on. Yeah, I'm doing the Dutch one.
I'm doing that one, and Phil's doing that one.
Yes. I thought it would just look nice if we had, because obviously what we'll do is we'll take these to shows.
Yeah.
So if we'll do like some of the boxy ones as well aftermarket, different nations, things like that. I think it'll look quite cool.
So the cockpit kind of black.
Yeah, the cockpit's just a black pit.
Cool. We can do
Everything's black.
So I was a bit worried when I watched your review,
right. Get it in black.
and I
Why?
saw that.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
pencil data. Yeah. Yes, there is quite a few, but mine's Dutch, so I'll probably skip. Won't bother.
Good enough for me. Good.
Somebody's asking, want to start to build some World War I aircraft, the biplanes. Can you guys give me some ideas? Basically, anything by Winged Up Wings,
Yeah.
because they are beautiful kits, fantastic detail. They fall together. They're better than Tamiya. And apart from the usual things of rigging, but to be honest, I'm working on the Sopwith Camel at the moment. Hold on. Andy has a glug. And it literally is, even just the instructions are a joy to behold. And you don't have to do all the cabling and all the rest of it, clearly, because you're never going to see most of it. But if you want to, you can. But just generally, the great thing about Winged Up Wings kits is that out of the box, you're going to end up with something absolutely stunning. And the reference and research to these kits are off the chart completely. I've already got the Sopwith triplane already built, and there's a video build and available on the site. And then also I'm currently just working on the Sopwith Camel. So hopefully got a bit of a Sopwith theme going on there with both of those. Steve, which is one you're doing? Have you got yours to hand, Steve?
Which my
You know,
the one that I'm building, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
here we go.
And yeah, they're absolutely stunning to work on. And the level of detail is incredible.
that's huge, isn't it, really, that thing?
It is a big one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is one of the bigger ones. Going by the other ones I've got, this is probably the biggest, apart from the AEG bomber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you learn so much new techniques, which is good as well. So yeah. And I did get a load of the early World War I colours as well from MRP do them. So if you're looking into doing World War I, they do a really good range of colours, including Richtofen red.
Oh, one you just read.
Right.
Is this one of those con things? It was just red, but you can buy.
Yeah, it's quite a faded colour.
Does anyone actually know exactly what colour it was?
It says on the, hang on, it says, oh, it's bloody trust. I can see bottle here and labels facing wrong way. It is
Ferrari red.
black rot.
Red.
Yeah. Whatever crap lack rot is. I know it's red.
Rock, red. isn't it?
Yeah, it's
I bet it's exactly the same as XF7.
Typically.
Yeah, but that's more expensive because it's proper.
no, I'd say it's kind of a more going kind of red to magenta kind of colour. Purple in it. If you look, there you are. That one. Craplac red, whatever that colour is. I've got a Richtofen plate to do, so you can do it red. I know it did. There's different markings, but
I wonder if any fragments of his aircraft survive.
probably.
They would have been squirreled away by everyone who found it. When are we taking new members? Probably next week. Hopefully next week. That is the plan. Next week. And say we were just trying to get all the members moved over to the new way of doing things. As soon as they're all happy and tucked up and nicely, we'll be opening to new members again. Kitchen table modelers workshop. Hello, lads. Enjoying the evening in chat. Very nice. Thank you. Welcome. Evening all. Trying to rejoin. Yeah, literally next week. I will open it up next week. As soon as it's all settled down, I will be opening up the site to new members next week. And to be honest, I need to do a new welcome thing and a talk through because the site is nothing like it used to be now. So it needs to sort you guys out.
Does he get a pilot in this kit or not?
No. Didn't see one when I reviewed it because I was looking because I thought, why did you get seatbelts missing off the one seat?
Just you get two options, don't you?
Yeah.
One
You should
seat.
get you buy a seat in aftermarket, but I can't see pointing at myself. Where's all the fuselage there?
As it was great to meet so many of you at the weekend Dalton show. A couple of you guys are saying that they saw us. So yeah, it was lovely. I must admit, thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a good show, that was.
Yeah.
Even if we didn't think we were going to be doing it.
My apologies to the chap if I seemed a bit abrupt when we were trying to find his way back from McDonald's to the stadium.
Yeah, you two went for a walk, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hand in hand.
yeah.
Wanted some quiet time together. We know. Fine.
That's the last time I get your lunch. Go a long way.
Hey, I never did get me change. 15 quid for a Big Mac and a fish finger sandwich.
Yeah.
Bloody expensive up there.
No, I totally forgot, to be honest, Bill. I'll
No.
send it.
You're all right.
Came home with more money you went with.
I'm just going to mute my mic so I can put the compressor on.
That's right. I've just literally unmuted you, so you're all right.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. It's a
Another
bit
bit.
loud.
And we bumped into a member who coming out of shops, and we had all food on us, and it was going cold, and so we kind of rushed off.
Oh, scurried away.
Yeah, it wasn't right nice, but
But we were all starving.
and we know that you get right mad when you don't have your burger.
Yeah, I'll get hangry.
Don't forget to put nose weight in it. Let's do-
How much do we need?
It says 20 grams.
Beyond the cockpit. But you can get quite a bit in the nose, can't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, you can't get any in the nose, can you? Because it's got that bit of detail in there.
It's got the big.
Yeah, but in the actual cone you can, can't you?
You can, yeah. You can
could in
put
the cone,
some right underneath where the pilot's seat is. There's like a little area that I think you can trap it in.
The thing is, you won't be 20 if you got it right the way forward.
But there's an area literally right
Instructions
underneath.
say
that
just
seat.
beyond the cockpit, doesn't it?
Yeah,
That should be far enough forward, I would have thought.
I think so. Where's the centre? Right, time to spray.
And well, remember, should you be watching, Rob, enjoy Berlin, mate. I hope you have a really good time.
Hope it doesn't snow too much.
Yeah, I was going to say you get snowed in.
And plenty of pictures of the Luftwaffe Museum.
Yeah.
Especially if there's out on the V2.
Is that where he's going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is it's his honeymoon he never had, you see, so I don't think he'll be that bothered if he gets snowed in or not.
Good point. You might not even come out the hotel room.
I think he might to go to the Luftwaffe Museum.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah. How long have they been married?
10 years, isn't it? No, it's nice when you're getting away. You'll enjoy it. So it will cause a diplomatic incident at the Luftwaffe Museum. When Rob climbing over everything.
It is an amazing museum, though. It's not got much World War II stuff, but it is amazing. Especially if you like Russian jets.
Yeah, it's all the Cold War stuff.
Yeah.
Mark says he found one of my old DVDs, the Lancaster build. Oh my God, that was what? About 1998 I did that, I think. And then it got released around about 2000-ish. Must have been about 2000 I built that.
I've still got some of your DVDs somewhere. So.
Yeah, I think they ought to be burnt. I'm going to buy them all back just to get rid of them.
And I remember those days when they used to come on DVD.
In chat, they're saying that there's Richthofen artifacts at the Australian War Memorial.
Right.
Someone were asking, Nigel says, the wing that wins doing in World War II stuff. No, not yet. With the Lancaster only stuff. And then a question from Rob is asking, he's got to be doing the Italeri, 172nd Nighthawk and Desert Storm markings. Any ideas besides Vallejo polyurethane primer on how to fill the panel lines using anything non-hot, i.e. safe and easy to undo? Thanks as always. So fillers.
Well, fillers, you want to go perfect plastic putty because that will literally just go straight in. You can wipe it and have a look at this build. I did the quick video thing on it the other week. About using that, so you just wipe it away with a damp cotton bud. So it's great for doing jobs like that because it dries really quickly.
Yeah, somebody else mentioned perfect plastic putty. Tony's saying that his local veg supplier has got a hunter in his front garden for restoration. He's got some pictures. If
There
you
you
think
go.
I'll post them.
Right, okay, a couple of the guys asking a couple of questions here. I'll just run through them. Okay, so where was I just looking? First time on chat, do you guys have any honest option on the new Kitty Hawk Yak 130? Well, it's not technically a Yak 130, the Kitty Hawk one, is it? That's the Italian one, isn't it? I haven't got it here. I did do the review, though, of the Zvezda Yak 130, and it's nice, really nice. And talking to a couple of people at the weekend who have built it as well, said it goes together really, really nicely. Because my concern is in the review, it's a lot going on in that midsection. It's very modular the way it goes together because there's a lot of moving parts that they've tried to recreate, blowing doors and such. But I was talking to one guy who talked me right the way through that section, and he said, as long as you're good with your cleanup, he found no issues, and he's used no filler on the entire build. So. And I know his work. He's a good modeler. So, yeah, does seem to be okay with that one. Phil, the F16 build, is it on your website? Yes, it is. It's a bit of an older one, olden but golden. Actually, we sold that kit at an auction not so long ago. It's left. But, yes, the full one is on the website. Part 1, I think, is floating around YouTube or something. There's various just individual parts floating around YouTube. But, yes, obviously, all the videos still stay up to a certain date. The super builds are still in there, but some of the other ones have gone by the wayside. They might make their way out to free videos, or they might die a death, which is probably better. Don't ask Phil about Kitty Hawk. Hey, don't forget, I have a love-hate relationship with Kitty Hawk, and I have built quite a few of their kits now. I did the Jaguar, and actually, because all the panels are open, it's a really nice kit. It goes together very, very nicely. But anyway, the last one I did, which was the little bird, which isn't here, it's the unit, that is a stunning kit. Went together, no problems at all. Really, really enjoyed it. Just the usual thing with Kitty Hawk. It's like really frustrating because they make little tiny errors, and those errors add up over the course of a kit, but they are getting better. I'm just very hopeful that their Black Hawk coming out will be a nice one as well.
Not the only one.
Do you guys mainly build aircraft? Not really. Got quite a good demographic. Matt does a lot of figure painting. John does occasionally finish one. Andy does a bit of anything. Steve, again, Steve's a bit of an all-rounder. Mainly used to be armor. Now you've gone back to aircraft, though, Steve.
Yeah, recently I've done a few more things, but I still love me armor.
Steve, also our armor god.
Yeah, I'm trying to do kind of alternate now. Go armor, aircraft, armor. There's just so many really nice aircraft kit come out recently. I want to start building a few. But then again, it's the same with armor. It's just finding the time in it, really.
Yeah, definitely. Phil, it says 2009 on the case. Yeah, it is. It's just, don't forget, that's when it got edited to go onto DVD. It was a few years before that one, though, to be honest. So it may have been around about 2005 then. I don't think it would have been quite as old back as 2000. The guys are talking amongst themselves, which is fair enough. Oh, lots of questions here. Could I get a Harder and Steenbeck Evolution 2-in-1 or the Infinity 2-in-1? Difficult question, depends on your budget. Personally, a lot of, as you know, I use, this is my, I've got two of them. The Infinity, but really this stuff at the back, I don't really use it that often. So you could save yourself some money and go in, or, and I'm just saying, because it is a bit of a favourite of mine these days, and I know the guys like it as well. That is, yes, this one. This is actually the, what's it called again, this airbrush, guys? Because I've forgotten it. John? What's it called?
Oh, it's the Hobby Procon, is it?
Yeah, Procon. That's the one. That's the word. I couldn't think of it because it's not written on it. But this is the 270 airbrush. It retails for about 80 quid, and honestly, it gives my Infinity a run for the money. It really is a very, very nice airbrush, and it does everything technically the Infinity does, apart from it doesn't have a lock on the back, but it's got its built-in airflow adjuster, a little fine control airflow adjuster, which obviously you don't get on one of these either. And I have to say, for the money, you know, you could buy 2 of these or 3 of these for the same money you're talking for one of these. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things. It's a great piece of kit, this. I do really do like it. I do rate it quite a lot. It's
an Iwata, basically, isn't it?
It is. It's an Iwata clone-ish. Apparently they're under license, aren't they? So it's all Iwata inside. Really nice. But for 80 quid, it's a bargain. Really is a bargain. Oh, right. Sorry, the Kitty Hawk then. Right, that's where I'm getting confused. Kinetic. Sorry, guys. Thank you. I stand corrected. Yeah, the M346 is the kinetic one. Can't comment on that. Haven't seen it. And I haven't actually seen the kinetic, the Kitty Hawk Yak 130. But as I say, if I was a betting man, I would probably go to Zvezda. Zvezda have come on leaps and bounds over recent years. As you say, if you put ICM and Zvezda together, they are my 2 manufacturers to go to these days, because you know it's going to be good quality stuff. It works, goes together really nicely with minimal amounts of prattling about. So, yes.
Aren't they? Then?
Sorry?
I know ICM are Ukraine, aren't they? Zvezda as well.
No, it's Zvezda, Russian.
Russian.
Yeah. Coming on leaps and bounds of kits from over there. Mini Art have improved so much. They were always good, but they're getting even better.
Yeah.
And the prices are very good as well.
Yes. It is good pricing with it, but you know, you're pretty safe to do that one.
It's Nuremberg, isn't it, next week?
Yeah, Nuremberg Toy Fair. It'd be interesting to see what comes out for that one.
Well, there've already been some leaks, haven't there, from Tamiya?
Oh, go on then. So fill it in.
Definitely a 177 109 G6. So they've obviously downscaled the 48th one.
Yeah.
They're doing a Achilles tank, the British one, which is obviously using the M10 molds that they did a few years ago and putting a different turret on it.
Yeah.
That's another leak. And they're doing a car, I think. I'll tell you what, they showed me a picture of what it's a Toyota Le Mans car, but it's actually an RC car, but they think they're going to do it in 1/24 scale. And it's pretty cool, actually. So, oh, and a new monkey bike.
Oh, another monkey bike. It has to be a monkey bike.
Monkey bike.
Okay, so we've got talking about air pressures and thinning of paints with my live videos that I did them a couple of years ago now, to be honest. Probably do with
I've just been painting with the Attacker acrylic range.
Yes.
I really quite like them, to be honest. I've been using, I've got the sets because obviously I've been doing a bit of just playing with them really, just see what they're like. For the
base, yeah.
The red primer base, just to see. It's off the modulation set that they do.
Yeah.
Really quite. They're all right. They spray really nice, to be honest. I think with all acrylics, you're always going to have a bit of tip drive, but I've added a bit of flow improver just to put it down. And to be honest with you, ugly, isn't it? It's really quite nice, and it's gives you a satin finish, not a matte. So. Because I did these earlier, I painted these figures earlier with just straight black and white out of these sets. Out of that set's just got a jet black and a traffic white.
Yeah.
But while I've done those figures, I'll give them a coat of primer, and yeah, it's all right, to be honest. They're all right, not bad paints at all.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Is it me, or are these location holes about twice the size they need to be for the tabs?
Yeah.
The control column one's really loose.
Yeah.
Lost it through there, didn't you? Bloody hell.
But I've used it to offset the control column to the left because the ailerons are separate, aren't they?
So you can make it look like it's, yeah.
So I've set mine off to the left-hand side because the tail is not all separate, but the ailerons are, and the rudder.
In the top holes. Yes. Well, say, guys, if you can just have a quick look, part C in section 12, part C2.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
Pipes, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
some
there's
kind
a couple of like pipes that come out the sky.
Yeah.
right, so we need to drill them out then, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've plugged them in and I'm just thinking, just wait for paint to dry before I do out.
Yeah.
So in the cockpit, that one that's like C-37, is that the Ambrose?
It's the collective, Phil. Don't you know anything?
Oh, what? Collective.
Yeah,
What, go with his cyclic, he's flying.
yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, so, yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to figure that one out. Oh, I don't know. Did it for steering the nose wheel? I don't know.
Perhaps it's the gear lever.
Answers on a postcard, if anybody knows.
I'm guessing that jettisoned something because if you look at cockpit photos of it, it's black and yellow striped on the top.
It might be the emergency brake. Most aircraft have them somewhere, usually there, that you pull on it for the bit where nothing happens. You sort of yank on that for the emergency brake.
Right, what number's that? Has anyone noticed any mismolds anywhere?
Nope, not yet.
No, I looked around and didn't notice anything.
Pete's saying he's working on his first Kitty Hawk kit and he's quite impressed. There you go. They're getting better, let's face it. It's not like the old stuff where it used to have horrendous problems. I used to do reviews of them and it was almost like that thing of like, oh my God, here we go. It's going to be just nightmare TV, and it is. And you start to do the video review of it, and as you're doing it, you're looking at the parts going, Jesus Christ. So, but they are definitely getting better with every release they do. They are moving along. And as I said, it's nothing personal against Kitty Hawk. My frustration with them is that they release really, really good, interesting subjects. And then you just know it's going to be a nightmare to go together, or it's going to be a lot more work than what it should be. So, but they are getting better.
I think they overcomplicate. If they didn't have everything opened up, you know.
Yeah, I agree. And again, I still believe they're quality control. Just literally hold it off for another couple of months, work out the little chits, just little basic things like make sure the instructions add up, you know?
I wonder if Airfix did a double check on this kit before it came out.
What do you think? Airfix are guilty of things as well. I don't think I'm ever just picking on them, because Airfix, to be honest, this is the first kit I've built of Airfix's. We've done this where it hasn't got a mismold.
Yeah.
Did the Furies have one? Sea Furies?
Yeah, my Steer Fury. Don't forget the tail.
Yeah, the tail was on. And then you had a short shot on your Phantom, didn't you? Who did that?
Short shirt on the tail as well. It was off molded.
Kind of the problem on the Typhoon. Do you remember the issue? And then they sent them back, and they sent new ones out, which were even worse.
Yeah.
What a palaver that one. All right, palaver. 18 and 12.
Nathan, where did you get your Tamiya lacquer thinners from?
I just ordered it off eBay.
Oh.
It came from Hong Kong in a jiffy bag. I don't know how it got here in one piece.
You'll be getting it later this year, won't you, Matt?
Yeah, they're going to have to do some version of it, aren't they, for the new range of paints that they're doing? So, yeah, I would have thought so.
I ordered the Tamiya enamel thinners, and it just literally came in a small jiffy bag.
Oh, I've had stuff doing up, yeah.
How the hell it didn't get crushed in flight, I don't know.
Yeah.
But that was a while ago that I got that.
And you got the lacquer thinners in there as well, in the buff top.
Yep.
Can't get that around here.
Not yet.
I like their Tamiya Surface Primer. That stuff's brilliant in a bottle.
I often find the sellers out of Taiwan and Hong Kong just don't care about postal regulations or anything.
No, they don't, do they?
No.
Steve,
Yeah.
you do us a favour, mate, with those extra deco instructions.
Yeah.
Just double check my one. It's
Yeah.
got the parachute housing on the tail, hasn't it?
Ugh. Your one. HG223 had the tail parachute housing fitted.
Brilliant. Thank you. Good job they got it in the kit then, isn't it?
I haven't even checked mine. See if mine did. Had the tail parachute housing fitted. I don't know what bit that is, John. Later on.
Mm. Yes.
I've just noticed my first sink mark.
Oh, where's that?
Uh-oh.
Luckily, I think the air brake will cover it. The back end.
Yeah, but that's what I do. Mine's tiny, and it's only on the starboard side. Yours?
Yeah, it's not too bad. It will sand out, I think.
Right. Okay. A couple more questions. Andy, you keeping a look in our chat as well?
Yeah.
I can't see it tonight. Anyway, hello, Bill. Greetings from Lee Warden, home of your hunter. Thank you. I hope I do it justice. What else have we got? Shmoo, trying to figure out figure painting. It's not as easy as it looks. Talk to Matt. Matt's the resident in training with figure painting.
Yeah, in training.
So
Hold on. I'll tell you what. If he's training figure painter, buy some of these. I've just had some turn up today. Mr. Black books. They're absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. Eric
Really good book.
swears by them, you know.
You what, sorry?
Eric swears by him.
I tell you, they're brilliant.
He's also, is it Kim Jong Summer who does it?
Yes.
He's got a YouTube channel which is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. MJ Miniatures. Yeah. There's him, and there's a guy called E&E from Texas who does figure painting, and he's really quite good as well to watch. So there's a few about, yeah.
Well, something I do like painting figures.
Relaxing.
It
I don't
is.
know whether to mention it or not, but Nigel says maybe someone should suggest Wingnut Wings do some World War II French bombers.
Yeah. I was going to say Nigel needs to go into therapy.
He's got something about World War II French bombers, hasn't he?
yeah, let it go.
You know what? Somebody has to be into that.
Yeah.
Perhaps there's a business opportunity there for him to develop his own.
Yeah.
Eric says, "Evening, guys. Finally home." Hi, Eric.
No,
Eric.
Eric, is in our Eric?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, Mark says he's trying to beat the Italian Sterling into submission.
No, is it?
I haven't done that one. I must admit, I can't comment.
Built their Sunderland,
Hmm.
but not the Sterling.
What was the Sunderland like?
It was all right, to be honest. It weren't that bad. A lot of rescribing and riveting over the seams at the top, which Rob did, obviously.
Yeah, getting to do that.
You know something, guys? The intakes are superb. Absolutely superb. Just glued them together, and where they've put the seam, No filling needed at all. Really
That's
tucked away. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I was wondering how that bit would go, and I was thinking about it this afternoon.
Oh, chat goes all funny, doesn't it?
Lynn says, I love my ICM MiG-25. Bought one after Phil did his kit review.
Yeah, it's my kit of the year.
Yeah.
Loved every minute of that video build.
Nice kit. That.
Dane said, why was Pixie leaving? No, Pixie left us back in the summer last year. So you're a bit out of date there. Yeah, she left September. Pete says, I'm full of question, guys, so I apologize in advance. That's all right. Best 148 scale Hawk kit? Anybody? Chirp up.
I built the Airfix one.
72nd scale.
48.
48 is only, what is it? Italy is the old the Airfix one and the Hobby Boss one, isn't there?
Probably what's gone, yeah.
To be honest, none of them are perfect.
No.
If I'm honest with you, it's like that thing. You take your choices and go for it. I'd say I've done the Airfix one.
Yeah.
You don't get excited over it, if I'm honest.
No.
I did a full black. Whose conversion I did on mine anyway. I put flaps on it and a cockpit in it and everything. The Hobby Boss one, again, the thing is with the Hobby Boss one, it's a bit of a hybrid because it's like the Mark 127 in it or something.
No, they do them all, don't they? They do.
Yeah,
all...
they do, but it's all off of that one, so you have to take a lot of stuff off of it because it's got vortex generators on it where it shouldn't have and various things. So you have to be careful with it.
What's the Italy one like?
Don't know. Haven't seen that. Might have to have a look at that one. Procon, sorry, obviously catching up. 120. Don't forget, I say the Procon one. My version here is the number is the 270. John paid. How much you pay for yours, John?
Depends if Lynn's watching or not.
Yeah, not watching.
50 quid.
Not here. 260. That's the PS770.
Yeah. So that is the thing. They do lots of different versions of these. Mine's the cheap one, but it's not. It's really good. Really, really good. It's a cheap price for a high-end airbrush, but it certainly feels it. So, yes. Then he says, anyone built the AMK MiG-31? None of us have we?
No, I've got one to build.
Yeah, I've got one to build in all.
And I want to build it, yeah.
Loads of people have, and they said it's a beautiful kit.
I've only heard good things about it. I've not heard any rubbish.
To be honest, if you're going to do it, you've got that or the trumpeter option. Or was it Hobby Boss? Hobby Boss, sorry.
Good things about AMK.
Yeah, the AMK one, I would go over the Hobby Boss one, although it's obviously a lot cheaper.
The conversion is well.
Sorry, Andy?
So did Rob start building his? I thought Rob.
Yeah, but Rob would never have finished it, would he?
Well,
No, he takes it off the screw, Andy. That's not built.
Yeah, he tapes it all together, and that's about as far as he gets.
I think he did have
I don't think he's got one of them.
Yeah, he surely has, because I gave him the. Didn't I give him the undercarriage for it?
I don't know. I know I bought one. So I got one with the.
I don't know now, to be
You
honest.
built them, didn't you?
I know we were building the Hobby Boss SU-34, wasn't it? Was it?
Yeah.
The fullback?
Well, he did the Kitty York one as well, didn't he? You were building that.
Somebody texting and asking.
Yeah.
But I know you guys, a couple of you bought the AMK, and then I bought it when they re-released with the metal undercarriage.
Yeah, and I bought the metal undercarriage with the extras, and I also bought the metal undercarriage separate because I didn't realise you got the undercarriage with the other bit.
Yeah, I did the same.
Yeah, and then John sent me his other one.
Yeah, I gave my other one to Rob.
Because I bought the aftermarket cockpit for it, but didn't have the undercarriage, and then John had a spare one, so I had John's spare one. So yes, thank you, John.
Talking about aftermarket cockpits, Phil,
Yes.
does the Tamiya 32nd F4J need one? Would you recommend one? Or
Well, funny enough, because I was going through the F4 build that I did with mine, I put in the resin aftermarket one into my one. Does it need it? You don't see much of it, if I'm honest.
yeah, so just
And
doing
they're
another.
not bad. I personally don't think it probably needs it unless you want to go the whole hog. I did mine as a super build, wasn't it?
Yeah,
consequently, it had everything thrown at it. But
That seats.
yeah, you might want to stick a nice couple of resin seats in it, especially if you want to have like molded in harnesses and stuff
Well,
like
to be honest, I might actually it'd be a bugger to do in flight, wouldn't it? It'd look good.
Yeah, you could do it in flight. It won't be too bad.
Yeah, because I think Quick Boots might do the seats for the pilots.
Right, where were we? Oh, sorry, I've scrolled. I've moved. Right, so I think we're getting near 9 o'clock, so I'm just going to pop back to the site, to the forum, and do some of the questions for the team today this week. So Gary says, hello guys, just a quick question or two. I was wondering if you have a list of paints you use and like. I really like MRP, which would be number one, but I find it a little hard to get them in a timely manner. Tamiya would be my number two, and on this list it lacks the colors like MRP. What paint would you put above Tamiya and the colors? I'll just paraphrase that a little bit. The thing is, like we always say on this, it's very easy for us to harp on and say, like me, I've got a lot of MRP here, a lot of Tamiya, I've got a lot of guns and things like that, and obviously I've got a lot of Hataka these days. It's one of those things. Not every manufacturer does all the colors you need, so normally you'll get holes and gaps in there. To be honest, recently I've moved away from MRP to Hatakas, and it's not because we're stocking them, or everyone thinks it is that I like Hataka paints are a little bit more thicker, and it's more my style of painting, if you like. MRP are great, but it takes forever to cover, especially some of their colors like greens and grays, where with the Hataka you can just whack it down. But then Hataka, they've got gaps in theirs, so they don't do World War I colors, for instance. They don't do all the Russian colors either, where MRP does. So in some ways it's easier to have them in. The ease of spraying and use, obviously Tamiya, you're going to be really hard to beat because they're just so easy. 50-50 mix with Tamiya and away you go. Thinners. And then the same with obviously, Hatakas, you can start in there with a 50-50 mix and off you go with them. They seem to work really, really well with it. Same goes with guns, no problem. But if you're not used to spraying MRPs, they're very thin. A lot of people, I think, overspray with it, and it's just getting used to turning that air pressure right down, getting right close to your model and putting it down positively. Otherwise, you can go through that paint really, really quickly. So I think it's that thing of what works for you and the colors you need in the various things. I've moved away a lot from acrylics these days, so I used to have a ton load, as you would have known. This rack was solid with just Vallejo at one point. But I moved away from those and so forth and so on. So it's just finding what's working for you, working with your style of airbrushing and things like that. So I would say play, experiment, find what works best for you, your airbrush, your environment, things like that, and your style of spraying, and then work from that. So, that may be just in the acrylic range, or that might be in the lacquer range, or enamels, or whatever it is. But usually the reason we all have this sort of mismatch is because no one company does all the colors you need. Agreement, guys?
Yes, I agree with you totally, to be honest. I'm a complete paint whore, so...
Yeah, he is. Matt has got the biggest paint collection out of all of us. He has everybody's.
Well, yeah, not far off.
Including really old Humbrol.
And Airfix, don't forget the Airfix.
Yeah, he'll get his Airfix paint collection out in a minute.
No, that's it, in the shed, innit? I ain't got it here.
Bring it down to the unit. Yeah. Go on, Andy.
My go-to still is colour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's sort of like it seems to be the default for most manufacturers when they're doing instructions. So it's easy to figure out what colours you're supposed to be doing it with. A lot of newer ones, I don't know. It's sort of there's that many. It's difficult to try and get proper colour matches into it to figure out what it should be. When it's on a when you look on the instructions, it tells you what colour to go for, and then trying to find it in a different manufacturer. But I don't know. I really do like Mr. Colour, but I've got quite a few of the Hataka lacquers, which I'm liking, and I've also got some of the Hataka acrylics, and I've not gone too badly with them. Used a few of them actually, but yeah, again, Say it, mate.
I said I just think it's getting used to a paint sort of
Yeah,
system.
Yeah, I mean,
Not different to a point, so it's just what suits you and how you spray really. So it's a bit trial and error because, like I say, what I like, Phil might not like, and you might not like, and Steve or somebody else, and then they might really love the paint that we don't like. Well, it's personal choice. The thing is, there's that much variety as well now. It's not like, you know, you sport for choice, and I think that's the problem.
yeah. But I think most of us like default to Tamiya, don't we?
I do.
Tamiya is just, it's just.
Yeah, and that's the reason why I like Mr. Colour, because it's similar sort of like spraying ratios, and it sprays similar. Just with it being a true lacquer, it sort of like it has a nicer finish and smooth finish. But
Yeah, you're right. I think Tamiya is the best paint.
It's the most versatile, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's,
yeah.
For ease of use, Tamiya is probably the one.
It's just the weird colours they've got.
Yeah, I find I'm solely lacquer now. I won't spray acrylics. Wouldn't touch Vallejo or anything like that.
You see, I'll always have Vallejo in because I like using it to brush paint, detail, and like on figures, bits of armour, or little detail paints. They're brilliant. But I think for spraying, I love Tamiya and Mr. Colour and all that. But like you say, MRP have got some great colours. I like that. But going over now, I've tried that Attacker. Think a bit like Phil. I can thin that how I want it to be thinned. It's not pre-thinned. That's the thing. I'm not. Some of these are pre-thinned for airbrushing. I'm going off that style because I like to get the thickness that I want it. So ones that easily thin are better for me.
I think going back to what John said about Vallejos, is I think because we all pretty much predominantly use lacquer paints, and because you're using lacquer thinners in your airbrush all the time, when you start going back onto Vallejos and you use them in the same airbrushes, it just causes just a world of pain, though, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it goes all gloopy, doesn't
It does anyway, because if you get the pressure wrong or the temperature's too hot where you are, you need to start packing the retarders in.
Like I say, it's just personal preference, isn't it? That's the thing. I think you've just got to bite the bullet, buy some paint if it's and just try it and see how you get on. Really, just don't go mad and buy an whole range. Just buy one or two and or buy the colours you want for one project that you're doing and see how you get on. But there's no easy answer to that question. I don't think at all.
Tony Jules said he's figure painting tonight using scale 75 acrylics for the first time.
What do you think? Because I like them.
He says they're great, but won't thin them for spraying.
What?
He says they're great, but I won't want to thin them for spraying.
No, I don't think they're designed for that somehow. Mind you, people do it. They do spray with them, but I don't know. But they're nice for brush painting.
Yeah, I've sprayed with model colour before. Just thin it in a little pot first, and then it'll thin nicely.
Oh yeah. Right. Next.
Okay, Andy says, "Hi guys, I hope you're enjoying your Wednesday night evening. I was wondering if the team will be the East England Model Show at Peterborough on Sunday, the 3rd of March, 2019. Anybody going? Bit out of my way.
Miles away from
my way for me.
Yeah,
I don't think so. No.
No, we're not. Won't be doing that one, unfortunately.
We've got two. Oh no, it's April. We've got two shows, or is it March?
Yeah, what we got in April? We've got
We've got Cosford and Milton Keynes.
Yes.
And March we're down in Hornchurch.
Yes.
Which we are actually going to do. So
I'm not getting snowed in there this year, I'll tell you. I've got the heating on.
Brothers may be going to Halifax show.
Sorry, Steve?
Some of us will be going to the Halifax show, all being well. To look around, not as a stand or anything, just to look round. I'm sure if Matt were to go and you'd put an order with him, he'd meet you in the car park.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going yet, so don't say that.
You're doing Milton Keynes, Matt?
Yes.
That's probably closest to Peterborough, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we're looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
Should be nice new posh new venue.
I need to book
Should be really good show.
a hotel for that.
if it's took a leaf out of what Bolton's done with their stadium sort of show, it should be good.
Yeah. Definitely.
So,
Yeah. Very good. Okay, Andrew says, great show at Bolton, but everybody looked busy, so I didn't get a chance to chat. Oh, don't worry about us, just butt in. That's what everyone does. Thanks for Matt for the extra aftermarket bits that you threw in with the Wessex. You giving stuff away again?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, what do you get? A mask set and the next set? I can't remember.
There's a mask set in it. I can guarantee it would have had a mask.
Yeah, there's definitely a mask set. There's probably an X set in there. I don't know. Well, enjoy it, mate. Enjoy. That's normally Andy's trick, giving away aftermarket with his kits.
Yeah, Andy always has a ton of aftermarket in any of his. Buy Andy's old kits. Trust me, you'll get loads in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, it says question on using super glue for big filler jobs. Whenever I seem to make it, I make a complete mess of things. Again, it's one of those things, you know, we spoke about it when we did the review on glues and fillers and stuff like that, and using it as a filler. Sometimes if you add a little bit of baking soda to it, you know, or even talcum powder, you can turn it into like a concrete mix, and it gives you a bit of play time, and you can be a little bit more accurate. Also, it makes it downside easier for sanding than just neat super glue, because neat super glue goes rock hard. It's really, really hard stuff to play with. And that's what we were saying about. In some ways, super glue is great for those tiny little jobs, for a quick, simple, you know, you blast it. But if you need to go over it, as in rescribing, re-riveting and stuff like that, it can be a bit of a nightmare. So I tend to use it quite sparingly these days. It's okay for a quick fix, little tiny jobs. Like if your rescribing goes wrong, you can just put a tiny bit in there, bit of kicker, nail it down, sand it and go again. Yeah, generally I tend to use either homemade styrene mix stuff or a little bit of plastic perfect putty, and things like that.
I'm going to
Anybody
say,
else super gluey?
yeah, what I'd say is if you're doing a big filler job, put some in and then keep adding kicker every so often. It seems to, and also if you're filling a big gap, put a load of super glue in, turn it upside down and then spray some kicker, because what that'll do is gravity will draw the super glue downwards, so it's not all sinking inside your model.
I think the trick is as well to sand it before it goes rock hard.
Yeah, that's
before it properly cures, because otherwise you just
it's harder than the plastic around it. So
exactly, yeah, that's it. You use all the plastic and then the glue out.
Well, you can use, depending where you've used the super glue, and soak it in debonder, and you wipe away a lot of the excess. It takes a bit for it to start melting into the, or soften the super glue, but that's a good way of doing it. Especially in your tight little gaps. I know I do it quite often on resin models. In certain areas I use debonder.
I've thought that.
Okay. Right. So let's just pick somebody to put the camera on for a minute. Nathan, you're it. Sorry, somebody talking to me in normal chat. Right. Okay. What else have we got? Oh no, I'm in the wrong one. Questions. Here we go. Hi guys, fellow in the team. Just wanted to ask if the new Airfix Hunter you guys are going to be building could be made into an earlier version Hunter that would be the bare metal, and if there'll be any changes needed. Thanks for all you do. Cheers from sunny Florida. Very nice. Anybody a Hunter expert?
I think the problem with these, the early Hunters had a straight wing, the leading edge.
That could be a problem.
And I think the Airfix F4 is coming out this year with the straight wing.
Yes, it is.
So you've got a better chance of that one, but my ex, I know a bit about the Hunter, but not a lot.
No into your talents. Nathan reads clearly. Look, he's got all the books.
Got me Hunter book club.
Here it goes, yeah, tell you all about it.
Yeah, that's it.
I've done that bare metal ones. The Hunter F1, F4. Just wait for the F4 kit.
Yeah, wait for the F4 one then to come out and be our advice.
Yeah.
Okay, Robert says, hi team. Looking at many of the builds on this site, I'm blown away by the quality and the finish of so many kits. Within reason, I'd like to have, I have no idea how to judge them apart. So my question is, do you think judges looking for when they rate judge kits on display at air shows?
Ron.
Please don't forget they're on. Yeah, hold on. Our resident judge.
Get him on full screen.
There we go. Ron, it's you. What are you looking for?
Well, I think first of all, you're looking for something that makes you like stand out. And I don't mean an unusual model, but just something that, visually just stands out, whether it's the finish or the markings or whatever. Initially, if you've got like a load of models on the table, then there'll be one or two that you'll go, that's worth like looking at in a lot of detail. And then it's just a matter of like going through, just checking the build quality, because something could look good from a distance, but once you get up close, the build quality might not be great. Little things like the wings might not, for an aircraft from my point of view, the wings might not be symmetrical, and that's what it comes down to. It's again, it all comes down to personal. That's one of the difficulties where you've got two aircraft that are maybe slightly different, totally different. You might have a MiG-21 and like a Hawk. How do you judge them? It just comes down to personal preference at the end, and that's why you don't just have one judge looking at one category. You'll have like 2 or 3 judges looking at it, and they'll come to consensus, and they'll shortlist down to a number of models that they'll want to shortlist for first, second, or third, and then it's just a case of whittling it down and getting agreement on, that's the one that catches my eye more than that one.
It is difficult, and that's why I don't do anything to do with it at all.
You got me to do it instead, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. People come to me and say, "Will you judge?" And I'm like, "No, Steve will." Because I just couldn't judge. I don't do competitions, as everybody knows. I've never been. It has no interest in me doing competitions whatsoever. Purely because I'm just blown away by everybody's work, and everybody has different standards and things, and it must be incredibly difficult, to go through, because in some ways, you've got 2 ways of doing it from judging. You're either going to be really cold. So you're going to have your sheet and you're going to say, okay, let's look at the build. And then you're going to go through and say, and you're going to try and find every fault you can with it. To me, that's cruel. Okay, then you're going to go into the things of obviously accuracy as in colors and things like that. I think that's subjective, depending on weathering and various things like that. And then you're going to get that thing because, I suppose one of the things that put me off of it many, many years ago, and we're talking 20 years ago now, I was involved in some judging, and that's when I probably threw my towel in with it all, is because it was just, to me, a model had blinding mistakes in it, but because it was something a little bit different and everything else, and then other models around it which were perfect out of the box, they didn't have any weathering on, which were beautiful models, extremely well built, were overlooked because they looked normal. And I thought, because weathering, sometimes you can hide a lot of faults. I do all the time, is hide all my errors and that in weathering. So if you've got a dodgy bit of panel lining, a dodgy seam, you can hide it under weathering and various things quite easily, and distract people's views away from it. Yeah, if you've got just an out-of-the-box gleaming aircraft that's well built, sometimes I used to think those used to get overlooked. But again, it's really political as well that comes into it. And obviously for me, if you had a Phantom with a shark's mouth on it, it would win. We're missing. Because it's what I love. So if that's beautiful, that wins. Maybe probably age 3 3/4. But I'm too subjective, and that's why I could never be a judge. We wouldn't want to be, and don't do it because I'm easily swayed.
The thing is
go on.
that It depends on the competition. For like Telford, it's first, second, and third. So you've got to choose between 50 models, which one's the best. Whereas other shows, they'll do it to a set of standards. So you could have 10, 15 models all get a gold because they're all built and finished to an excellent quality.
That's the better way of doing it in my eyes.
Personally, I think that's a better way of doing it, because how do you judge, as I said before, how do you judge that model against that model? And if they're both technically perfectly built and the finish is perfect, how, you know, it comes.
That's personal taste, then, isn't it?
Yeah, toilet break.
Oh, Steve's done a bunk.
I need toilet.
Oh.
Did he put his hand up to ask to leave?
Did he?
Ron,
He had his trousers on this time.
Ron, do you judge classes that you don't know anything about? Like, would you judge?
What?
Scale modelling.
Yeah.
Do you judge aircraft and sci-fi and stuff like that you don't know anything about, or
figures. Do you do figures and dioramas?
No, I've done aircraft.
Aircraft.
you do just do aircraft? Yeah, right.
And then his Phantom 1. Fix.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
You need to know a little bit of the subject.
Yeah, you do need to know a bit, I think. Right, okay. Also, Phil, is there any reason why PM isn't linked on the Flory Models, I think you mean Sparkly News main page? Yeah, it's a good point, actually. I really want to put the link into it. Nothing like self-promotion. Don't worry, everybody. There's an advert coming up soon.
That might help.
Yeah, that might help. Yes, it might do, actually. I will do that tomorrow. Thank you for pointing that one out. That is a good point. I don't think it's linked anywhere on the news site. Don't forget, pmmodelsuk.com. Right, okay. Where you can get this. Because I have to mention it because I forgot.
Oh, you did you?
A message from our sponsor.
A message from our sponsor, me and Matt. The buffs are in, the H, which originally I was going to do the other version, but we sold it, so I couldn't.
The G.
The G. But
So
the H's are in now. Isn't it £65?
Don't get attached to that,
Why?
because it might sell, and then you've got to get rid of it.
And I can't have another one. What's the point of owning a bloody model shop if I can't have
You can't have
something?
any models.
You know, we're not there to hoard kits. We're there to sell them.
Oh, right. Okay. Anyway, 65 quid. I'm going to do the review of that before Matt takes it back and sells it.
Not really. Why do you want to build that?
I might have done.
Is that a yes? You really do want to build that, don't you?
I do actually, yeah. Yeah.
You're.
I always wanted to do one in 72nd.
I
But
tell you,
it's like, yeah, that's quite. I'm not building the Atari one because that's the old thingy kit, isn't it?
AMT kit. Isn't it?
Thingy kit, yeah, it's crap. So yeah, that looks quite nice.
Your build schedule is getting rather big with these projects.
To be honest, I tell you what's funny. This year, when we first started at New Year, we spoke about it, and I couldn't think of jack all I was going to build this year that I was going to be excited about. And in the first couple of months, here we are, like we're week 3 in, and I'm thinking, well, I'm going to build this.
What we had so far, we had the Yak 130, we've had that one, haven't we?
Yeah.
I'm sure there was some else you reviewed. Obviously, there's the Hunter that you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was another thing as well. You said, oh, but
Yeah, that Burke missile system I quite fancy having to go at as well.
that was it. Yeah, there's that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to build the Burke missile system. My secret project that I'm working on at the moment, but don't say it because I know you know that one.
Yeah.
They don't at home yet. But yeah, B-52 I'd like to do. Got to do the Wessex, the giant Wessex, 32nd Wessex.
You got the Wingnut Wings like to do back end of the year when that's released.
Yeah, that might take me a while. I wouldn't mind doing the Blackjack to go with me bear.
Oh my god.
So, well, now we've got somewhere to put it. You said we got room. The walls are going to be covered in them.
And do you know what? I'm actually just looking at the walls of where we can hang them.
We've got a warehouse. I'm sure we can find room.
Unless we get some scaffolding and pin them to the ceiling.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Get some long ladders. We can have a flyby.
Be like your bedroom when you was 8 years old.
Yeah, Some of our sods got to go up there and dust it every 6
I
months.
am more thinking health and safety if one falls on a customer. Here's your tin hat, sir.
Yeah, yes, you enter. Yeah, here's your hat. Don't look up.
Tin hat and IVs. That's what you need to come in this shop.
Doesn't bother RF Cosman, does it? So
No.
Yeah, well, at least the lightning got a dust the other day, didn't it?
yeah.
I wouldn't fancy doing that dusting job, Craig.
Yeah, we got some specialists in, didn't they? Ropers and.
Yeah, they do it once a year, don't they?
I know one.
They don't do it that often at Yeovilton. Trust me, that Sea Harrier was in there. You could hardly make out it was blue.
Covered
It
in
looked like it was in snow camo. It'd been on that ramp so long. Jesus. When they do that, we'll have to clear the building. Look like they've had a fire.
Right, what colour are you guys doing the seat belts? It works out it's a pale blue.
Oh, is it?
Leon model colour 901. According to Airfix, it's a pale
We
blue.
can't get that close to that stage yet.
I've not even thought about the colour of
I'm
the
trying fitting the wing onto the fuselage. Joe, you mentioned about that joint.
Yeah,
Absolutely beautiful.
yeah. Ricky did say
You've got the
Rick
wings
did
on
say
already.
it was on.
No, just
Just mocking up.
looking up.
Is it a perfect fit, Andy?
But it's so far until they come and glue it on, then it'll be really horrible.
Yeah.
Big gluey fingerprint in there. Right. Okay. So some more questions from Liveland. Let me put you on to Nathan because he's the only one you can see building. Look. Oh, look. He's got cockpit painted black, and oh, look. Oh, wow. Pushing on there.
He's on a roll.
He is. Right. So we're talking about Kitty Hawk helicopter kits. Yeah, their helicopter kits are all right. I have to say, their Huey. Well, I'm waiting for their 35th Huey to come out. Don't forget, their other Huey, the 48 scale one, is a little bit of a hybrid, shall we say. Without going into too many details, Hueys are one thing I do know quite well. So yes, but it'd be nice to see, obviously, their Black Hawk family coming out. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to, definitely.
Yes. Guys saying they fancy the Huey. Yeah, don't do the Revel one. That's truly awful. Andrew says, being a brush painter, still, what would you recommend to use? Specifically, acrylics. Don't use enamels. We're talking painting.
What you painting?
Yeah, what you're painting. That's the thing.
If it's tanks and aircraft, Vallejo, and make sure you put some flow improver or retarder into your paint.
Or airbrush cleaner.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and just build the layers up slowly. Do 2, 3, 4, however many layers, but only put thin layers up.
Or Attacker actually do a brush range of paints. Brushable range of paints, should I say, which is the blue line.
Yes.
I don't know what they're like, never tried them, so but
right, so Wayne says, Phil, I've been considering building the Hobby Boss 132nd P61 Black Widow. Has any of you guys built one? Or are there any known issues? There's a few been built on the forum, definitely. Hans built one, didn't he, years ago? A couple of guys built one.
isn't that the one where the bloke needs to be about 9 foot tall to reach the pedals?
Isn't that the 48th one? I think that's more the 48th one. But it could be the 32nd. Yeah, he has to have about 12-foot long legs, I think it is, to be able to reach.
The 32nd one suffers from the same problem. I think.
Right. Mind you, so does me bear, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
Seems like 12 foot behind the control yoke. So all Russian pilots must have 9-foot arms.
What was that? The snow speeder kit that somebody were building, where them figures were just terrible.
That's the Revell.
That's the Revell land speeder, wasn't it?
They're just blobs.
Yeah, they were just blobs of toffee.
Massive long arms.
Yeah, they did.
They're really weird.
Yeah, how do we make it reach it? We just stretch his arms so they actually touch the controls, and they were horrible. Yeah. Right. Okay. Phil, in your opinion, what is the best way to avoid rough texture after painting with Tamiya? Okay, if you're getting rough texture and you're airbrushing, simple fact of it is you're too far away. So what you want to do is turn your air pressure down and move a little bit closer, because what it is actually drying from the time it leaves the needle to the time it gets to your model. So think of it like pebble dashing, because what's happening is the particles that have been atomized are now starting to get a bit sticky. So when they hit the surface, instead of being nice and wet still, when they melt into the previous bit that's down there already, it's literally hitting it and it's sticking, and you end up with a really rough texture. As I say, air pressure, knock it back a little bit and move closer. Certain circumstances, you're always going to get it. So if you're into like a wing root or something else like that, you get what I call vortex ring. So the air hits it and it starts to do circles and it dries your paint a lot quicker. So I do a positive coat in there. So literally nice, big, wet coat straight down to it, and then airbrush after it, and it all tends to go together. Getting rid of it, dawdle, sand it. Literally between coats, just give it a very light sand with an old worn sander or a fine sander. If you got something like the new Green Dual one, shameless plug, or even just the normal ones, just a little quick rub over it, damp cloth just to get the dust off that it caused from sanding, and then spray your next coat on and away you go. It happens to us all sometimes. Also, have a look at the live tutorials. They are free to watch. They are on the YouTube, the Facebook page. And also, if you go to the new Flory Model site, there's an area in there you can get into and you can watch all those types of videos as well. And I cover it in there. Talking about mixing Mr. Hobby acrylics with Tamiya and all the rest of it. Self-leveling thinners always works well. Yeah, great one, that one. Leveling thinners, guys are talking. Apparently the reds are on. It's all right, I've got that in the planner. That's where everyone disappeared half hour ago. It's the Red Arrows program, isn't it?
Right.
I got some from
That
chat room.
That was on at 9 o'clock.
Was it?
Don't catch up, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to read some out of chat room?
Yeah, if you want. So anyway, they're saying, where's Pix still? Don't forget, Pix left us over 6 months ago now. She's off to pastures new.
Because Peter Smith 2 says...
We must have two Peter Smiths then.
Yeah,
Fifth one.
Says, boys, on the Hunter, I think the locating pins for the Sabrinas don't match the holes you have to drill. The Sabrinas foul the...
Sabrina, wasn't she a singer in the 90s and 80s?
Yeah.
I remember her for some reason. I can't think what that was.
What's a Sabrina on an aeroplane?
Was it
That'd be the large ducks. Yes.
Thank you for that, because I've just drilled them out.
Yeah,
But hold
Says
on, Sabrina must be the chest bumps underneath it then.
they are, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, with you.
Sabrinas foul on the two vents. Mine did anyway, so look at some images and fit them by eye, fill in the holes.
All right.
So
John.
You know, I just thought that, looking at it, I thought that seems awful close to those two beds coming out. I'll try it. Hang on.
is that those 1 mil holes you have to drill?
Yeah, I've done
Yeah,
that.
I've done already drilled mine and all, John. So
Hang on, I'll give it a go. Which one do I want?
Go on, John. Test it out.
C15.
Yes, it covers. Yeah, it covers them vents, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I like the way everyone keeps messaging me here saying, you do realise you're live on the internet?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's the idea today. Don't panic, everyone. We're supposed to be. We're testing something out.
Is it going to stay a public video?
Yeah, I do believe so. This is Matt's idea, I just hasten to add.
I reckon he's put them on the wrong side.
Oh, right, okay. So they do fit, do they?
Because there is if you put them the right way, there's a little tiny notch
Yeah,
in the back of it
Yeah.
that fits snugly around the first pipe that comes out.
Okay.
That's it. I'm not. Sabrina is the way to go. Apparently, Sabrina was from the 50s and she had the same figure.
All right. I thought she was from Italy.
So anything with chest bumps counts.
Rob Lee says, Tamiya thin 50-50 can't go wrong. Model Air clogs too much. Can't get MRP to spray without it going all airborne and give you patchy poor coverage.
That's because your air pressure is way too high.
Even at low pressure, close.
No, it's still too high.
That's like literally like 9, don't you? Or something?
You do it so you can hardly hear it.
Yeah. If someone made paid that sprays that Tamiya, dries as quick as MRP and smells like Model Air, that'd be perfect.
Attacker. That's the future.
I don't know about.
Any show North Essex near Colchester near a bus stop?
Sorry.
Nigel says, try supergluing your finger to a kit. Talk about panic attack. I think we've all done that in the past.
He
haven't we?
did that last week.
I did last week, yeah.
It's when you super yourself to your table that you got to worry.
Yeah, well, I did that famously years ago, didn't I?
I think we've all done it once.
My best one
In it.
is the one where I cut my hand cutting a said launch tower with a pair of scissors, and then I put super glue in the cut because I was bleeding live, and then I put kicker on it.
What happened to the launch tower?
You lot all set fire to it, remember?
Well, that thing.
You were so childish, you set fire to it.
I remember that thing.
Very-
Yeah.
There you go. I don't know if you can see it, but that fits perfectly.
Hold on. Right.
But you've got to have they're sided. You've got to have them on the right side.
There we go. Another public service announcement.
Where's this?
Mute there.
That is compressor. Hold on, let me mute him. I can find him. Where is he? There he is. It's all right.
Can't get it off now.
Carry on, everyone.
Christopher says, don't understand judges, but I love to enter models. Most of my models spend years sitting in my basement display cases. It's good to get them out so they can be seen.
Yeah.
It's also fun to see other people's stuff.
Absolutely. Hey, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking model contests or anything else. If that's your thing, well, go for it. I enjoy looking at them. That's for certain. And going round them all.
Definitely.
Matt says, no, he doesn't. Tony says, Matt, can you take an Edard Tempest to Bovington? I'm going to collect it from you there. I did email PM Models, but you're obviously busy filling your paint cabinet.
He's not good.
Yeah,
He can hear us. We just can't hear him.
Matt, put your thumb up, thumb up, whatever, if you heard it.
Hold on.
Right.
Hold on. He's muting it. There you go. Matt.
Tony says, can you take a... I lost it.
Tempest.
Edard Tempest to Bovington, and he'll collect it from there from you.
We might not be there. You
All
can't. Matt, you've muted yourself. I can't unmute you.
He's miles away from his computer as well, isn't he?
Yeah, I can't unmute him from here because he's overridden me. Hold on. Here he comes.
There you go. What's the matter?
Tony says, can you take an Edard Tempest to Bovington with you?
No, 'cause we're not going no more.
I was saying we were not attending.
Sorry, Tony, we're not going and doing it because it's not going to be worth our while. So, yes.
Yours.
I mean, I've got a weekend off.
No,
No,
you're
no.
working at the store.
No, we need you at the shop.
You're working at the shop.
That's the Cheshire Militaire weekend, isn't it?
Is it?
Or is it? I don't know.
Don't know.
16th, 17th of
No,
February.
that's the weekend after, isn't it?
Nantwich show. When's that? Let me check in a minute.
Chris just put a photo up, Phil.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't see him. He says, talking about shark mouths. I've got this one in moustache. He's posted a picture of looks like it's a Dassault MD 450 by Valen in Israeli colours, by the looks of it.
All right.
They're massive. It's more like a warthog mouth than a shark mouth.
Yeah.
It's massive. And Nigel says B-52 will be an ideal companion for the bear.
Absolutely. So I'm thinking they'll look great together. It's a family day out.
Tony says,
Sorry.
Tony says, wasn't she a teenage witch?
Sabrina.
Just going back to the Black Widow. Singer just texted me to say it's got issues with the nose. It's a mix of versions, and you're right about the cockpit. The pilot needing very long legs.
Ah, see? So yeah, it's definitely, there you go. That's quite, yeah, John did a nice one years ago, didn't he? I remember that.
Yeah. Lynn says, when do you think you'll have Attacker box sets in the store, Matt?
You what, sorry?
When do you think you'll have Attacker box sets in the store?
I can get them if somebody
Oh,
wants.
yeah, if you just PM Matt what you want,
Let me know what you want. I'll get them in.
yeah, Matt can get box sets dead easy. So if you just PM him, he'll just get whatever you want. Not a problem. Phil, where do you get your kicker from? Neil said.
Creative Models.
Ever have tried as out of stock or is
Yeah,
kicker?
Creative Models do it.
Chris Hewitt says he's waiting for a Tesla Supermarine SE6B coming from the US. Any comments on the kit?
Who?
Tesla's Supermarine SE6B.
I don't know that kit at all.
No, me neither.
Is that supersonic plane that we did?
You're very quiet.
A racing aircraft or something?
I've never ever been impressed with any Tesla.
Hold on, who's spraying?
Who's what?
Who's spraying?
Me, why?
Right, you're really loud.
Oh, just mute me then.
Done it.
Oh,
Yeah.
the S6B was the C racing plane.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
that was a stunning looking plane.
Yeah.
We did a group build years and years ago. We're talking 10 years ago now. And it was all seaplanes. And a lot of the guys did a lot of the racing ones.
Yeah. Tony says, Phil, I'm trying to upload some photos to an ongoing build in the figures section, but I keep getting the message saying that they're too big. And
Yes.
that 250k is the maximum file size.
Yes.
I think you've answered your own question.
So there, make them a bit smaller. Because the thing is, we've got to keep the hosting to a practical level. So now we're doing full photo hosting. So you can just upload your photos, but you do need to make them sensible size, guys.
Yeah. You can get free programs. I downloaded one the other day. I can't remember what it was called. A quick look.
Yeah, it shrinks it for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, one I've downloaded is called Pixelian Image. It's just called Pixelated Image. Pixelated Image Converter. And basically, you click on a file or batch of files, and then you can click on resize. You can change them to different sizes. If you change them, say, you can choose, say, the longest length. So if you did say 1024, which will probably change it to 1024 by 768, then it'll resize the photos. You can choose the quality. I mean, you don't need a massive quality. Just choose like a medium quality for the forum, probably be enough. And then it would resize them. And you'd get underneath the 250 kilobytes size. If you're doing it raw from a camera or a phone, you're probably looking at about 20 megabytes.
Yeah, that's it. What do you think? If you offload a standard iPhone photo, they're 14 mega pop. So, yeah, you need to squish them a little bit.
No.
Yeah, lots of different. I mean, on my phone, which I take most of my photos with, there's an app I use on Android called, what's it called? It's just called Image Resizer. Quick look. Quick Resizer, it's called. And just click on that, and it's got like it's got basically various resolutions. So I can go on to a photo, for example, that one, resize. And then so if I choose 1024 768, it resizes it down to 241 kilobytes.
Yeah,
which is 91%, minus 91% of its original resolution, original file size. So that's like perfect size, 1024 768 for the forum to keep it under the maximum.
Just giving me copy a quick dry brush with that Citadel Necron compound, which is for dry brushing. It bloody stinks. Absolutely hums.
Come and say hello.
Lynn says, where can I find out what box sets Hataka has available? If you go onto Hataka's website.
Yeah. Their website's very good, actually.
Yeah, it is very good, their website. And they list them in different, so they'll have like the Hataka lacquers and they'll have the Hataka acrylics, Hataka brush sets. You just go onto there and have a look at the Hataka lacquers, and you can list them by box sets. You'll see them all in there.
Mm-hmm. Some really good info as well. I'm just looking at the World War II German set I've got. Gives you a really good in-depth description of when it was used and quite a good bit of history behind it. Really good.
Yeah. Nigel says, Tony, if you open your laptop and open it in Paint, you can resize them in there. Maybe doing 800.
Right, I'm going to keep that.
Right, I need to paint that.
Biscuit in a minute, all right?
Things working on it now. Doing it. Chris is doing that S6B racing plane for the group build.
Ah, very nice. Cool. Very good. Right, should we just have a quick whiz round from our sponsors? Hold on. Get it to work. Wow. Oh, there we go. Right. Okay. So shameless plug time. For you guys who are watching on live, we tend to do this because, disclaimer, we also happen to own a certain model shop. So, a couple of new things just to tell you about in the old new products. Obviously, the B52H we were just talking about, that is in stock now at $64.99. Obviously, the Liberator, I did the review on that last week. That's obviously in the store as well, basically 130 quid. The new Airfix 70-second Phantom. This is the FGR2, so it's got the square tail in it on that one. Picture. Hold on, we get bigger. Yeah, it's got the square tail on that one. So that one is in as well. And then we've got, what else have we got in? Hunters, obviously we're building them now. They're in stock. The new Tamiya Spitfires are in as well. And then obviously we are sold out currently of the Tempest. But yes, all the other kits, these are the latest ones. But then don't forget, we have got a whole store of absolutely everything else. So we've got all the paints. Obviously, all the AK stuff is in and it's in stock, as you can see, unless it's marked as out of stock. Some of them are out, but we do keep really good stocks of everything. And we have obviously stuff coming in daily. Hitaka, obviously, it's our new range. You can buy individual bottles, and we've got the thinners in as well. So you don't have to buy the sets, but as we were just talking about, we can get the sets in at any time. Okay, so what we're planning on doing is extending the individual bottles range to cover pretty much everything as well as the sets. But you've got to imagine it's a very big undertaking doing all of this. But as far as we know, we're the only people where you can buy individual bottles from. So we've got them as individuals, so you don't have to buy the entire set when you run out of one color, which was clearly my bugbear when we thought about taking them on. So they are all in there. But as you imagine, anything you can imagine, all your usual suspects from various things, from the usual manufacturers, and probably a few perhaps you haven't heard of, are down in here as well. And Zvezda, we were talking about it, should be in here somewhere. There we go. We've got the various ones in. Has he not got it in here? Why has he got it in here? Matt, you're sacked. But it should be in there somewhere. Is the new... why is it not in there? Has he got it in new arrivals? Yeah, why is, oh, there it is, but it hasn't got a picture, and I don't know why it's not in the other one. But there we go. That's that one we were talking about earlier. Seems to be absolutely fantastic here, even though apparently it's now sold out. But again, we'll be getting more of those in really soon as we make our way through. And we've got all of that, and then obviously in the forum now, if we just pop to the top. Obviously, the forum is now completely live in its new format of showing it round and everything else. So you can find all your usual bits and pieces down in here. And then what I'll do is on Friday, we'll have a proper look round the actual group builds that are ongoing at the moment. But obviously, we've got the On Your March group build, absolutely fantastic. So we've got loads going down there, 55 entries in there at the moment. And then obviously, we've got the NATO SIG going on there as well. So we've got 32 down in that one as well. Okay, so we will have a proper look around on those as we make our way through. And yeah, that's about it really, I think. Can't think of anything else. Is Matt still muted? Well, that's all going very well. There's not probably a lot of point of taking you around the org site, but in case you just want to have a look, you have a quick look-see. If you've never been to, hold on, let us go in here again. Hold on. What we need to do is just pop into here and here and here. If you haven't seen it, anybody, we have our new site is now operational, which is flooringmodels.org, flooringmodels.co.uk, and all the other ones that point to it will come here shortly. But generally, you come in here and you can see the latest daily shows. They're all in here. They're not up on YouTube anymore, but they are in here. So the live show, as we're doing it now in streaming, is just here if you wanted to watch it back. And then yesterday's vlog, we've got a thing about subscriptions, we've got a thing about the show, what we're up to the weekend, and all last week things down there. The video builds and all the bits and pieces, they're down in there. The last of the full builds are in here in the new more usual areas. And then we've got the review section, so forth and so on down in there as well. And then running across the top, obviously you've got the members forum. Just over there, you've got your reviews, tutorials, which might be interesting to some of you if you haven't seen or anything we do before. These are open and free to the public, so you can click in, and we've got one down in here. They're a little bit older ones, to be honest, but they're still good information, I think. So we've got ones on basic modeling, if you've never done modeling before, talking about glues, fillers, and all those things, as you can see down in there, and some of the tools that I use day to day. And then going back is, sorry, wrong one. We'll go back to tutorials, and we were talking about airbrushing. If you want to learn obviously about airbrushing and all those types of things, I've got the courses on the basics, of airbrushing. As I say, they're a little bit older, but there's still some very good information down in there. And then obviously about cleaning out your airbrush, some of the basics about it. And then the live series, which is one we did a couple of years ago now, but it was all shot completely live, warts and all. So if it went wrong for me, it went wrong showing it live on air. So if you're wondering why the sound's a little bit wonky and perhaps some of the camera angles, that's because it was all shot live and they were streamed live on air. Okay, so that's those ones down in there. And again, we're moving across all the actual video builds. Hopefully I'll get this finished off by the weekend, but generally you can click down in here, you get a preview of all the video builds, and then as members you'll click down in here. Let's hope this works seamlessly. There we go. For our members, you'll be shot off to the forum, and then you can actually see everything that's going on down in here for the actual video builds as always. And obviously they are quite extensive and they go on and on and on and on, and warts and all, showing you all the full video build. So you get an idea for it obviously on the internet, but there's a lot more to see obviously on the actual Flory Models site, as you might imagine. So yes, all being good. So anyway, 10 minutes to go. How are we all doing? How's it going, Steve?
Yeah, going really well. I'm just putting the intakes in, which is quite novel, because you've got your fuselage, you feed it through into the where the wing will be, and then fix it from that way. So it ends up like that, and it's a really cool way of doing it. So that's one I've put on. It's quite clever.
It's very clever, isn't it?
Yeah, really good way of doing it, actually. But yeah, going well. I've got the cockpits had a little dry brushing. Just need little switches picking out. Had a little bit of yellow and a bit of red here and there. Seats painted. So yeah, it's going well.
Very
Yeah,
good.
nice kit.
Nice kit. Ron, how's it going?
I've started doing the Black Cat decaling, which are a nightmare because they're huge decals. But
Oh yeah, it's looking the part. Coming along.
again, just trying to get them to settle down, but they are slowly starting to settle down.
Very nice. Very good. Nathan?
This kit is brilliant. It's really good. The fit on this is spot on. So I've not messing around too much with the cockpit. I just painted it black.
Yeah.
Top wing join, perfect. The undercarriage bay, they just click fit. One thing I'm going to leave for a bit is the tailpipe. I'm going to try and fill the seam in that, but again, the fit at the back end, it's just perfect. Kit of the year.
Nathan, did you think the intakes are really clever?
Oh, it's just amazing. It literally just click fits them.
Yeah, and you can't see any joints, can you? There's no filler needed inside anywhere. It's just
Nothing.
brilliant.
I reckon kit of the year. There you go. Call it in January.
Yeah, I was going to say that's not bad. Seems really 3 weeks in. Very good. So, John, you enjoying it as much?
Yeah, just what the other guy said. Really, it's just falls together.
It is brilliant. Isn't
Doing
it?
a lot of test fitting, thinking, oh, you know, old Airfix kits I've done before, but there's not a problem with it. As Steve said, the intakes are really clever. How they've done that.
Very nice indeed.
Very good. Very good.
Very good. Andy, how's it doing?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've been talking too much because I'm nowhere near as far as they.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Yeah, but
I'm at the same stage as you.
Yeah. Keep it going, Andy, because we might get a free wildcard if we keep slicking Airfix.
yeah,
Excuse me, we can't be bought in this company, you know. We don't sell out.
Bill doesn't sell out, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The rest of them do. They have no morals whatsoever here.
Absolutely.
Won't promote anything, that lot.
but yeah, just test the bits of put together, which is all the cockpit bits. They're all like ready for paint,
Yeah.
and just test fitting, just general test fitting other bits. Goes together beautifully. Really, really does look nice kit. I think, like I said, I think in your review where you mentioned I think the biggest downfall they've made is the lack of details on the inside the flaps.
Yes.
So look at the real ones. The top of the wing,
Mm-hmm.
inside of the flaps, doesn't have any detail anyway.
Mhm.
It's only the actual flat bit when it drops down as detail on it.
Yeah,
So it's correct to be in bare,
on the inside.
but on the actual flat where it drops down, that should have detail on the bit that drops down.
I think they've done that deliberately, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they know the aftermarket guys will go for it.
Bit of photo etching, it's done.
What
isn't
you're
it?
trying to say? They've deliberately left it off so they've got something to do. So the
Well,
aftermarket have got somewhere to go with it.
Keep said
yeah,
on it.
to keep the price down,
Mm.
most people, to be honest, would go with photo etch anyway.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
rather than have to cut the flaps out, they've given you option that you can have them lowered. Knowing the aftermarket guys will do sets for it, Ed ought to do a set for it.
Mhm.
But when you look at the detail that's in the wheel well, would it have been that much harder for them to just?
Well, to be honest, that is my point to it. And when I did the review, you look at that detail in the wheel well and how detailed that is with the riveting and everything that's else in there, and then nothing in the flat whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it's a bit like the speed brake being full of ejector pin marks. You know, it's
And to be honest, I was looking at photos. You don't often see them on the ground with the flaps down and speed brake down anyway.
no. Because looking at the kit breakdown, when you look at it as well, I didn't go too much into depth with the actual review of it, but afterwards I was having another look around it. If you look at the inside of the bottom of the wings, the entire outer edge is going to be out for removal at some point because it's all been scored as if it's going to be a separate wing section going onto it. Well, that's going to be a bit of a handful, putting all that thing together.
That's
So-
the F4, that I think. And you
Yeah, to have the straight edge on it, isn't it? So you don't have the dog tooth in it.
Does that need a couple of depressions to put some more pylons in or something? I don't know.
Yeah, it's all the kit is quite modular for other things coming along, but the flaps are going to be the one stable thing that's going to be the same right the way through.
Is it modular enough to make a Buccaneer out of it?
Yeah, it's really clever kit.
Don't forget, Airpix don't do 48. That's why they did the Buccaneer in 72nd. But I'm not going there again.
Pylons on, they have different flaps, don't they?
Hey, what? Sorry,
If they have the wing pylons on, they have different flaps.
do they?
Yeah, because where the flaps come down, they have to have like a notch in the corner.
Oh,
Because
they have detail.
the flap actually comes down and sort of goes round the wing tank, if you know what I mean. So they have to have like a semicircular bit on the. You don't get wing tank with it anyway, do you? This version. So
Yeah, you do. You get the wing tanks as well, don't you?
yeah. That's weird.
So they haven't bothered with that minor detail then.
Yeah, just interrupt. Quick question for Ron. Are you using the Rotorcraft Black Cat decals? Or decals, or whatever you want to call them?
No, I'm using the one straight from the kit.
There you go, Ian. And Rob's gone. Rob McCluskey's gone. Night, Rob.
And
Right.
Pretty good.
So yeah, that's basically us done for tonight. Thank you very much for everybody who's joined us. Thank you to everybody in Super Chat thingy on YouTube. It's a new thing for us. We've never tried it before. We've only been doing this how many years?
wow, no.
I can't remember.
We've been doing it about a year, haven't we? I bet it's coming up to a year since we've been doing this.
Yeah, it must have been about a year we've been doing these every Wednesday night for a year now. In fact, it might be a bit more than that, I think. Don't know. Crikey. So yes, very good. Well done to everybody. Nice dog. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, Lola popped in. I think she might need a wee in a minute. This kid is panicky. And he's like, help. She give me that funny look dogs do, you know. So yes, I will sort her out in a minute. Is it possible to get large scale cockpits 112 or 16? Oh, there's that horrible old Esky F16 and F105 ones, aren't they? 1/16 or something.
Yeah, it's very Reed didn't.
Yeah, that's it. But the thing is, really, if you're going to be going down that route, they do some nice resin ones for World War II. Like Steve's got the Douglas Bader one.
Yeah. I haven't got it with me, but yeah.
But that's quite a nice one. Guys, talking about that. Telford, nice show. Cheers from Croatia. I've missed everything. Don't worry, you can watch it back. Great show, guys. Really enjoying this. I can't pronounce that. I won't even try. So, yeah, thank you, everybody that's joined us. It has been a lot of fun. Sorry, I'm used to the camera being over there. It's back over here these days. But yeah, so very much thank you to Andy for keeping an eye on the actual chat room for us and on the site. Thank you very much, as always. Thank you very much to John, who needs a better
Cheers.
intro, clearly, for next week. Matthew, thank you very much.
Thank you.
As ever, Nathan, who's now our resident Tornado, Luftwaffe, and Lightning, and now Hunter expert. Can we expect the Hunter SIG next year?
Someone's launching it.
Oh, there you go.
Doing it,
Exclusive.
yeah. Night, everyone.
Has anyone done a tiger mouth SIG?
I don't
Sorry,
know.
shark mouth.
Sharp mouth SIG. Well, I'll start that one. Thank you very much for joining us, Ron.
Cheers.
Nice to have you in high def these days. Very nice. And thank you very much, Steve.
No, pleasure as always.
As always, Steve's next part of his video will be up with you tomorrow night, everybody. I haven't put it up yet, unless he's already put it in the forum.
No, not yet.
Not yet. And it's a good night from me and Lola, who's desperate, I think. That's why she keeps staring at me from across my desk. She's like, hurry up, I need to go to the loo. So we've got to go now, everybody. We'll see you very soon. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.